mentioned Jaskar Malhotra's opening the batting, while his partner, new from last season, oftentimes would bat with Ritvik Behera. Now, it's not Ritvik Behera. He's moved on to Michigan. He's batting with Gunwarjit Singh. So Gunwarjit Singh will see his first action in Royals colors. And, you know, for the Royals, they were very reliant on Malhotra last season in terms of steadying the ship, just keeping things together. If you get him a partner, could really be explosive. Slip in for the left-hander. And right past that slip fielder. And edge straight away. Sunny Patel is asking for a dive. It was definitely out of reach, and they'll come back for two. So he'll open his account there. But you can see it right there. This wicket is going to be a good one. This is going to be a spectacular 140 to 150 type of game. I think is par. And if you get to that, it's going to be a lot of fun watching these two teams go back and forth. Word from Malhotra there. Gunwarjit Singh, again, the left-handed bat. He also does bowl some leg spin, so will probably feature with the ball. Just pushed to short cover. And for this Royals team, a lot of new additions, a lot of new faces in this squad. Gunwarjit Singh we talked about, but don't forget Mohammad Mohsin, the leggy from the Texas Super Kings, and added Obis Pinar as well with the bat. This one angled in to the left-hander. Bowling well, Sunny Patel. He showed an ability to bowl to either lefty or righty and not really struggle. And again, a big part of why he went to Major League Cricket and why his side, the New Jersey Somerset Cavaliers, were in the final last season. This was up in the air, but I believe it was off the pad. A good first over for the Atlanta Lightning. 1 over gone, 3 without loss. Spin will start from both ends. No, won't be spin. We saw it happen yesterday. It'll be Junaid Siddiqui, rather, excuse me. He will come in to bowl some spin. So, excited to see what happens here. Now, excuse me, Soeb Tai has got the ball in hand. And just was confusing me because he was warming up bowling leg spinners. And the first ball he delivered, it was an off spinner. So, some mind games being played by Soeb Tai. He bowled well, took wickets when it was needed yesterday. And we'll see Malhotra get off the strike yet again. I welcome Faisal Shah with me. Faisal, we saw a thrilling first matchup here today. What do you expect in store for us today?
Well, we expect an even contest this time. Probably the pitch at its best so far this weekend. But barring that threat of rain, I think we're in for an exhilarating game. Both sides very well balanced on paper. But whoever holds the pressure and holds their nerve in tight situations will get over the line. But action aplenty, I can promise you that.
Beating the batter yet again. Haven't seen Singh get his account going. Again, a new member of this squad. So he'd be eager to get the bat onto ball, slip in place for him. Just past slip yet again. Squeeze a single out. And I'm excited to see how the Royals go about this batting phase. They have a lot of really big bats down below. Jerome Davis also part of this side. So they have plenty in the middle. And this approach from the top, you can see they're just looking to stay in there and save the game for their middle order right now.
Well, they probably would have been watching the games here, so they must have a fair idea. It's not a bad idea at all to just have a look in first.
That one straightened up quite a bit off the surface, but deemed wide, much to the disliking of Soeb Tai. But you saw it already spin and straighten quite a bit. Sign of things to come, Faisal.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Sweptide didn't like the call. It did come back a long way. It started off way outside the off stump, but it did turn.
Pulled, but straight to tie. Misfield, won't give up a single, however. Again, good bowling, understanding this surface, and I think he's changing the pace up really well. You know, you saw a couple flat it up a little bit, then some getting quicker anytime he wants to pull the length back, not giving Malhotra time to swivel. Cuts and the call for one, it'll hit the gap. Malhotra was asking for two, but no two taken in the end. Another good over for the Atlanta Lightning, just four coming from it. Two overs gone, seven without loss.
Even the best in the business needs a strategic partner to help them win. Yash Technologies, more than what you think.
Hit 6 sixes in an over, but Faisal, he's no longer playing USA cricket, and now he's no longer in the middle. He was undone by Sunny Patel, looking to swing it straight back, and all he could do was open up his stumps, and Sunny Patel strikes.
And the celebration would suggest that Sunny Patel had some old scores to settle with Malhotra, who missed it altogether. It hasn't been easy for batters to hit big from the get-go. And Malhotra has found that out as well as he walks back 7 for 1. The Royals. We see Sunny Patel landing it in the right area. And loses his balance, Malhotra, and loses his middle stump as well. Royals 7 for 1 after 2.1. Seven for 1 Royals, who won the toss and are batting. What do you make of that decision, Aman Patel? So far we've seen all the teams that have gone on for the chase. They have won the games.
Yeah, I think their hope was that this wicket was going to be, very nice early on, and when it gets to the second innings, they're just hoping that it's going to crack up a little bit. And maybe a little bit of the rain in the forecast could be some of the reason as to why they elected to bat first. Ravinder Singh will get his account going straight away. He'll find himself a couple of runs to start things off.
And obviously the Lightning will have better understanding of the conditions, having played yesterday. And also in terms of knowing the outfield as well, they have to run fast. Royals will pretty much found that out just now, that this outfield is not the quickest. They have to run their runs pretty quick.
And Ravinder Singh won't mind spin on the ball. Someone who's played a lot of first class cricket in India, and actually was really good for the Royals last season on difficult tracks. Again, you might be hearing me say Ravinder Singh. It's Ravinder Singh Mehra. That's the full name there. And again, someone who was very good at getting ones, getting twos, and keeping the innings flowing. And on this type of ground, we've seen that to be really beneficial. And then wait for the bowlers to mess up, and that's when you can take the big shots on.
Yeah, exactly. Sunny Patel, who had a very good outing yesterday, would have felt hard done by with the result.
Beats the outside edge, and it's because of this was he so successful last season. Yesterday's game, his ability to be on a length, and I think the pace is just kind of confused Singh whether to go forward, whether to come back, and that wicket of Malhotra adds so much pressure. This had a little extra bounce and it tucked into the leg side. Could come for two. They'll just settle for one, and watchful start here for the Baltimore Royals.
Very watchful indeed. But we kind of expect now, having seen so much cricket since yesterday, that it's not the kind of surface that you can come out all guns blazing. Power play is known for big hits and quick starts. Not here at this pitch at the Paramveer Sports Complex.
Looking to go into the leg side. It'll be wide, and as you mentioned, not here. Haven't seen a lot of big sixes. I think the best little cameo we saw was Hansford Hamilton and his 4 boundaries he had in the first over against the Morsel Raptors, but it was kind of the best batting conditions we've seen. Another tuck into the leg side to close out the 3rd over. It'll be 13 for 1.
The wind has started to pick up here at the Paramveer Sports Complex. Watch out for that 4 o'clock rain prediction. Hyro in our production crew, he's got the radar and he was pretty certain that it is going to come. Well, by looking at the signs as the wind has picked up, one would have to agree with him. Is he credible, Aman?
Well, he said it was going to rain yesterday, and it did do that, so I would trust Hyro there. He's our man at the mid-wicket camera, and Junaid, he's over at the ball tracking camera. You're getting all these beautiful sights and pictures from. And Soeb Dai, he's bowling beautifully, and we can't forget about our brilliant director, producer, really just doing everything over there. Our replay op as well. Mr. Babar Baig, the production has been so good. Even that little pitch bat is computer generated, guys. He's done that. Spent a lot of time doing that, and a lot of time is going to be watched this, because look at the speed in which Ty's bowling and the grip and bounce he's getting off the surface.
Yeah, indeed. Ty will be happy seeing that kind of response. So will be our sponsors, Yash Technologies. Seeing that logo on display. But talking about our production crew, it's absolutely brilliant. But I think Babar Bhai has got the easiest job.
Couple of chuckles from Babar Bhai after that, and a quick single taken, and they'll get it as well. And you know, I think for the Royals, when you're assessing these conditions, yes, tough to bat on, tough to score quickly, but you can't let the dot balls pile on top of each other. Yes, stay in there, but do this, play with soft hands, and someone of Ravi Inder's experience, I think, would be very acclimated to this and should be getting that message out to Singh.
Yeah, absolutely. They're prepared to have a look in. They haven't rushed or flustered. We got 2 slips now. Talking about Babar Bhai's job being the easiest, that was just a joke.
Hit well, it was in the air, but just away from Ty, and they'll pick up another single there. But the Lightning, I think everything's gone to plan so far. They've gotten the skipper out early, they're holding the runs and making it very difficult for the Royals to get in any real flow. I'm interested to see what happens now, though. We saw him bowl 3 consecutive overs. Does he cap him here? What a delivery that is. What a delivery we're seeing so far. What an over we've seen. Just the 2 runs coming from it. It's 15 for 1 after 4.
It's an impossible shot.
Sometimes creativity and innovation are all it takes to achieve the impossible. Yash Technologies, more than what you think.
Well, you saw the helmet getting off of Singh. They've gone caps, and it's because we've seen a lot of spin. And Sunny Patel wants a 3rd. He's already taken a wicket. He took just 1 yesterday, probably deserved more. He's looking for his 2nd wicket of the game.
Indeed, and the substitute did come out for Royals. I don't know what would be the message if there was any. Although they haven't scored many, but they haven't gone looking for many either. That tells me that they've assessed the conditions. They have a total in their minds.
And this is, I think, what's going to help the Royals. Again, could have been close had the throw come in, but soft hands, get your 1, be quick between the wickets whilst you wait for, Sunny Patel's a strike bowler. We've seen Soeb Dai be really, really good. You can score off the other bowlers. I know they're still funny, Samadri, Junaid Siddiqui, and McNally was brilliant the other day, but they can be runs from those guys. It was Ty and Sunny Patel in particular that were so hard to deal with yesterday.
Absolutely, the bowling depth they do have. At one time we were questioning 5th and 6th bowler, but McNally came and bowled beautifully.
Short and pulled away. Yeah, McNally was great in the depth, and I'm interested to see the order in which they use their bowlers today. Yesterday it was spin, spin, and then Junaid Siddiqui after that. Do they elect to bring in pace in sooner on a surface that is a little bit better for the pace bowling?
It must be said that they bowled in difficult conditions. We had just come off of that rain break, and conditions were pretty greasy when they bowled, especially with their wrist spinners. They did a good job, took the game deep. Well, at one stage they were favorites to win.
This is good from the Royals.
Yeah, drier conditions today, so the spinners can have more of a say. But like I said, Royals, they haven't got many on the board, but they're not looking for many either. They're just trying to get their foot in the game, get to a start, build a platform.
And it looks like a team that watched yesterday's game. What did we see from the Raptors against this bowling attack? Looking for the sweeps and those reverse sweeps off a difficult length on a difficult surface. These two have felt very free to play with a straight bat and push into gaps. And again, while you might think of runs in the power play are what's needed, it's not going to hurt you here if you just give yourself some time to get in. Field has been pushed back to the 30-yard circle. And that was why he was going to flight it up. And I think he just telegraphed that to Singh. And Singh says, thank you very much. Get off your length, and I'll find my first boundary of the day.
And the boundary will finish off over number 5. Got slightly greedy towards the back end of the over. Tried to fly. He was prepared to give away the ones the way he pushed the fielders back to the ring. But the result was even better for Singh, and he collected a boundary. 5 gone, 23 for 1. He didn't need to push.
Third consecutive over for Soeb Tai. And he's beat the outside edge consistently. And again, he's bowling such a great line and length. I think the speed in which he's delivering too is not given Ravinder anything to work with.
He's found that right angle as well, right pace on this pitch. And he's mixing it up very, very nicely. That was a quicker delivery.
Yeah, and the difference you've seen between the Soeb Tai overs and maybe the Sunny Patel over, Sunny Patel's got the wicket, but he's the one that's gone for some runs in terms of singles. This one, though, elegant stroke. No man out at deep cover, and the first real signs of aggression from Ravinder Singh. We've seen him play that shot time and time again. This time, he's had enough of Soeb Tai and says, go fetch that one.
I cannot believe that it's gone for 6. He hardly seemed to have hit it, and it carried all the way.
Maybe the shot of the weekend so far?
Yeah, pretty close to it. We saw some sensational strikes yesterday. It has gone with the wind, though, you have to say. That's why it carried a long way, and then followed it up with the single. This has been a very well-controlled power play from the Royals. They've looked in control. 30 is the yield so far with 2 deliveries to go.
Yeah, and it's very similar to what the Royals were last season. Not explosive, but they understood conditions. They have batted on very tough conditions last year, and so they're kind of accustomed to these conditions and have looked very, very good and very, very comfortable. And even with that, even with looking comfortable, Soeb Tai can do something like that, and he's beat the outside edge, but again, not giving him anything, any room to really free his arms. Singh, while he's hit the one boundary, still wouldn't say he's in.
Yes, once again, this was running in with the arm. Good variations from Soeb Tai. The power play is done and dusted. The Royals 30 for 1. pretty humid and cloudy. You've seen plenty of twists and turns in weather, Aman Patel. Any twists and turns coming as we watch Junaid Siddiqui take up to the bowling crease?
Yeah, again, continuing with spin, so they haven't really twisted it quite yet. They've just continued with the same strategy as yesterday. They're going to start with 3 consecutive spinners, it looks like at the moment.
It's Jesse Bhutan.
Yeah, it is Jesse Bhutan.
Miraculously recovered from that injury that he had yesterday. It felt very nasty. He fell on that left shoulder chasing the ball. Gentle off spinners with left-handers in the middle. Sunil Naran light.
Yeah, hand behind the back and came in that way. Left arm comes straight up, and again, we're interested to see what the mystery spinner here can do in Jesse Bhutan. How much spin does he extract, and what kind of pace he looks to bowl. Remember, didn't bowl yesterday, so our first look at him in 2024 has been so key for this team every year, every edition of minor league.
That's nicely struck. It's in the gap, but good ground coverage there. Excellent work. Yeah, I forgot about Sikandar Raza when I said Sunil Naran light. He probably will take some offense to that comment. Jesse Bhutan, third in line with that Sunil Naran action. I don't know if he offers any mystery or is just try to confuse the batters.
Yep.
It's a hard skill to turn the ball both ways with an off-spinning action. That's full toss. That had no mystery about it. And the gift gleefully accepted.
Well, he gone pace on the past couple of deliveries. This time took the pace off and just lost control of it. Maybe trying to do something else with the hands, and instead all he could do was gift Ravinder Singh a full toss. You take a look at it here. We've already seen a really exceptional into-out stroke. This time, even with one hand coming off the bat, was always going to find the rope. Brilliant shot.
Good thinking cricket there from the Royals. See, this has happened consistently. The ball beating the outside edge, but they've been able to put that ball out of their system and take it one ball at a time. They haven't been flustered by these plays and misses. Once again, soft hands, just tapped it into the gap. He had a 6 already, followed it up with a single.
Yeah, and I think that just goes back to the experience of these two. We've mentioned Mehta, and he's played so many first-class innings in India, and I think the message is clear. Don't worry about playing a missing, just stay in.
It's another gift there, and the effort was sensational. Got away with it, Jesse Bhutan, thanks to his teammate who made a splendid effort. Still an expensive over, 11 off it.
Yeah, another full toss and gleefully accepted, and just dipped on him at the very last second. Was moving to his offhand as well. Never easy tracking the ball in that direction, but survives in the end. Jesse Bhutan and Ravinder and Singh. Now the end 7 overs. It's 40 for 1.
Who's 40? Man with all his tricks is into the bowling crease now. Fani Samadri. He had only 5 to defend yesterday in the last over. He looked gutted when he couldn't do that job, although with 5 left you could hardly blame him for that.
Yeah, absolutely. He bowled exceptionally well. If you remember his first 2 overs, didn't go for any runs, was really just deceptive all over the place. I think faltered in his third over, really. Even the last over was very well bowled. The third over is when he got a little bit too full to Ryan Wiggins on a couple of occasions, and that's when he got hit. I'm interested to see how he goes into this game and what he's looking at on this surface. Again, the line and the lengths have changed from yesterday. It's very different wicket to what we saw, and I'm curious to see how he adjusts.
Yeah, probably he would have been more disappointed with his third over yesterday than that final one. Here we go. How Royals treat him, that's another thing as well. Interesting, the wicketkeeper started from quite back. Normally he's up to the stumps, but not on that occasion.
And sometimes that is part of Samhadri's plan. We've seen it on a couple of occasions where he will keep the keeper up in some instances, and then other times keep the keeper back. And I think at this stage, he wants these batters to play a little bit more adventurous strokes. Fielder's out, power play is done, and so he's just asking the batters, hey, come down the track and hit me.
Well, he did come down, but not to hit, but just to place it into the gap. I really like this approach from Royals. I mean, T20 cricket and the modern day mindset, they've completely put it to bed, and they played it with great sense.
Yeah, situations are so key. Some of the greatest coaches across all sports will talk about situationally you have to be very, very sound. And they've understood, they've looked, and they've seen what this wicket's going to do. They've anticipated it well, and they said, okay, we're going to win the toss, we're going to bat, and we're going to bat with a clear mind. They're not going to do anything too fancy, just keep yourselves alive.
Exactly, and although jury would still be out that the assessment that they had, the conditions or the score they have in mind, would it be enough? We'll find that out later in the game. But at the moment, they're giving no impression that they're in a hurry or they're flustered. They're just barely up to a run a ball with their average. But the calm demeanor is really sending out signals that they're in control. Samadhi commits to an unforced error. So does the wicketkeeper. Not too costly though. It'll just cost 2 runs.
Yeah, and I think another thing here for what the Royals are doing, you see Samhadri's almost searching for wickets right now. These feels like the Lightning are just craving it because they've bowled so well. It feels like you're ahead of the game, but yet these two are just stuck there, batting and batting and batting. They were searching for a wicket.
Shouting was Samadhi. It'll be very difficult for him to get a leg before from that angle, for it to pitch on and then still hit. The leg by is the signal.
And that can create what we're talking about, that not losing your wicket, that can create some desperation in bowlers, and that's where you see oftentimes poor deliveries or bad balls come in because you're trying to force it, trying to create it. We've already seen Samhadri change the angle, and it's worked out for him, but in the same regard, he's searching for a wicket right now.
Nicely in control. Just a single, you're absolutely right. No matter how quiet the over goes for a bowler, they will always think about a wicket. So if they don't get it, that's the time when a lot of times you see the boundaries coming off the 5th and 6th delivery of the over. If they bowled a quiet over, they really go greedy and go searching for wicket, and that's where they give the opportunity to the batters. 6 of the over. Despite the dot on the last delivery, 8 gone, 47 for 1.
Even the best in the business needs a strategic partner to help them win. Yash Technologies, more than what you think.
.47 for 1 after 8, and we coming into that stage of the innings, we just start to cast our minds that what is a good total. Aman has been spot on with his assessment of the conditions and the totals required. What do you make at this stage is a good total there on this pitch for the Royals?
I don't know if I've been spot on. I think you're giving me too much credit here. Maybe setting me up to fall here, Faisal. But again, I still think 140 is a very good score, and with this kind of a base, they can extend past that. Again, Obis Panar, Jerome Davis, Mohammad Mohsin in the shed.
Junaid Siddiqui. Yeah, he's the man who let that grip slip for the Lightning yesterday with that expensive over. Up until that time, they were really on top. Chance to redeem himself today. Absolutely no intent from the Royals to go big here. They're content in knocking the ball into the gaps and picking up whatever comes their way.
Yeah, they're looking to set the game up, it almost seems like, for the last 10, maybe the last 5, because that's when we've seen a lot of the boundaries being struck. It's not a bad game plan here.
Finally, a big shot. It may... Oh, what a catch. For a moment, I thought it may just fall in no man's land. But we've seen some terrific catches this weekend. And this is yet another one in the deep. Looks like it's Mark Parchment.
Yeah, did really well. He was quick off of the blocks. We've seen a couple of times when the fielders are quick, that's when you see them able to get under it, settle themselves, and other times, fielders, they take a second to react. Finally, some intent shown here, looking for that big sweep. Just came off the toe end of the bat, good length, and again, really well done by Mark Parchment, moving well over to his left, had a lot of ground to cover, and took it with ease. It'll bring up the second wicket down for the Royals. Singh departs 15 off 22, 48 for 2.
.48 for 2. Finally, a shot in anger from Singh, and he perished. Malik is the new man in. It'll be interesting to see if he follows that same pattern of knocking the ball into the gaps, or he comes up with a different game plan.
Yeah, I saw my first time seeing Malik bat was last season up at Church Street Park, and in a situation where they didn't need a lot of runs, they just needed to run a ball, and then he could go get the doubles. What he did so well was he was so quick between the wickets. He's looking to turn every 1 into a 2, every dot into a 1. And on this type of a surface, we've already talked about where it's hard to hit those big shots, this could be a situation tailor-made for someone like Abdullah Malik.
Yeah, just prepared to have a look in. Junaid Siddiqui, like yesterday, started off with a double wicket maiden. Although he's conceded 1 run, but he's already in the wickets column for his side in his first over. Nicely put it into the gap for a single for Malik's first run.
And what you notice about the Royals straight away with their batting lineup, you see so many lefties, lefty after lefty. You feel as a fielding team, you're just consistently bowling to lefties. And for most captains, it would almost take away the leg spinner. But it hasn't flustered Sunny Patel. He trusts his wrist spinners to keep it away.
With the straight bat, another single, and that will bring up the 50 for Royals. It'll be very interesting to see when Royals decide that they have the platform now, so they can start to go for it. Who would they pick as their go-to bowler to go after? We'll have to keep an eye on all these things as they unfold. Siddiqui starts off brilliantly like yesterday. After 9 overs, Royals 50 for 2. Soeb Thai to come back and finish off his work with the ball. Nicely cut away. The chase is on. It will pull up in the outfield. Nice one-handed pickup, but enough time for a couple of runs. Slightly short and wide on that occasion from Thai.
Yeah, Ty's been really good today. He's been the outside edge plenty of times, and it's when he's pitched it up just a little bit. 52 in this 10th over so far, and again, we'll see if he's searching for wickets or if he's just looking to keep the run rate down. And you mentioned, when do the Royals start to be aggressive?
Was looking to dab it past that slip fielder. Excellent work there. He was alert to the situation.
Yeah, he was very intentional to play it there, and Slipfitter had some work to do and did it beautifully.
Ty has done that so very often, and you look at his figures, 15 for none in 3.5 overs. He definitely deserves a wicket or two.
He'll be screaming, how is he wicketless? How many times has he been that outside edge, and how many times has it been so close to off stump? I'm sure Aaron Gentry was waiting for one to just clip the top of off, but this is the kind of over that could really build pressure. And you have to expect as you head to the last 10, that's when the Royals will have to put some real impetus in this innings. Now 52, not a bad place to be, but again, you think you'd want to be around 130 on this surface, the way it's acting right now.
Off the leading edge, once again turn. He's really found that angle around the wicket to his liking against the left-handers, and he has some purchase from the wicket as well.
Yeah, and that's why you're seeing the slip cord in the way it is, really a gully and traditional first slip.
Again, Sohaib Ty would be wondering, he's still wicketless. He's bowled absolutely beautifully.
Soft hands save Ravinder Singh Mehra, and again, a lot of first-class experience, would know how to play with those soft hands. Feels like we're in a 4-day match here.
If he's played that amount of first-class cricket in India, surely he's seen enough of the spin to know how to counter it and how not to be perturbed by the odd play and a miss. Ty finishes off a sensational spell of bowling with not much reward to show for it. 53 for 2 Royals after the 10 over mark.
Second over for Junaid Siddiqui. And yeah, we just had this conversation between the overs. When does the intent start to come out? Yes, we've appreciated the approach so far, but you're 10 overs deep into this game, some big bats still in the dugout. It feels like at some point there needs to be at least be a look to maybe drive or hit a gap rather than just fend it away.
I mean, if they're waiting for bad bowling, credit to Lightning, they haven't given them many freebies. They've been right on the spot. Like I said, Royals must be coming up with good plans, but Lightning had more experience of the conditions firsthand because they played yesterday.
Nearly hits the top of the stumps. It just survives, gets through Abdul Malik, and you mentioned waiting for bad balls. Well, at some point you have to do something to make the bowler want to change what he's trying to do. Right now, it's just he can bowl, he'll get the ball right back from the wicketkeeper.
It's just a case of who will blink first of the two teams. Both prepared to sit back and allow the opposition to explore their game plans. You have a feeling, though, that something's got to give.
I feel like this is the tipping point. We just saw a ball hit out into the deep, and the fielder on the rope to get to 3/4 walked his way over there. Something's got to give soon. This is aerial, but again, the same intent to just go get one. What is the over mark they're waiting for? This is the 11th over. Again, probably the best foundation we've seen in 2 days' time here, but at some point the runs have to come. If they do this, you end up in the same place the Lightning were just yesterday.
Yeah, that's the most controlled innings we've seen so far. Now, what's next?
Well, they're just content to play the single-double game, or really just the single game as it stands. 4 runs coming from the 11th. It's 57 for 2.
$57 for 2. we are here for full 4 days of cricket, but it's not a 4-day game. That's what Junaid reckons. I think all of us are waiting for something to happen to break this sequence of singles that we've seen over the first 11 overs. Have you have any experience of watching in the ground a first-class game like a 4-day or a 5-day game test match?
I can't say I have. Never. First time I ever went to another cricketing nation not named India, and that was just for family travel, was this World Cup down to West Indies. So I've never actually been over. I've never seen a 4-day match in process. In North Carolina, they did hold a test match for I think 1 year they had a quote-unquote test match, a 4-day game, or I think maybe it was a 2-day game, and each team got to bat twice, but 3 days. There you go. Babar Beg was there as well, and he remembers sharper than I do. But I was there for that, but never quite seen the proper thing, and I want to go and watch one of those.
Well, let me tell you something. It's not going to be any different than what we just watched. These 11 overs, it's not that not many runs have been scored. It's because the approach is so calm, as if they have all the time in the world, like we do have in red ball cricket.
Well, for me, this is the over to attack. The youngster, Akil Posa, has been given the ball. Hasn't really bowled a lot in minor league cricket. It's a good opportunity for him to grow and learn. But if you're the Baltimore Royals, you've been waiting for it, this is the over you have to attack. Starts with a full toss. It was the slower one, but to just go ahead and get one off of it. Again, it was well watched in the end because of how much it dipped. But again, I think you see a little bit more intent from them, just the way they're running between the wickets right now.
And also there is a danger when you play in one gear for that long. It's very difficult to seize when the opportunity does come. I think there was an opportunity there, although it would have been a long hit against the wind. But it was a very gently full toss, although dipping.
Good ball that from the youngster, and that'll do his confidence some good to find the wicket. And you know, I think for the beauty of minor league is to get these younger guys opportunities, and what you hate to see is when some of these young guys are maybe buried in the 11s, right? Not really given a real role. With the Lightning, we've seen the youth be front and center. Aryan Chenchu came into bat, one down, he keeps all 20 overs, and today Akil Posa, he's been given the ball, so you love to see things like this. Pulled into the onside, but again, just one on offer. They could push for a second, but they'll just settle.
Again, it was not a full-blooded pull shot. It was just a control, just hitting the ball on top of his head, just giving it direction into those empty spaces on the onside.
And again, you're just waiting just to see maybe just a shot, maybe not even a six or a boundary. It's just to see when does this shot come to place. Still Obis Pinar, still Daron Davis and Mohamed Mohsin all waiting in the dugout. Again, just guided into the onside, Faisal.
Yeah, you would think that, Aman, you read it correctly when you said this was the opportunity for the batting side. If you look closely at those 4 deliveries from Posa, 3 of them, 1 gentle full toss, 2 long hops, they haven't punished them as they should have to get ahead in the game.
And there's no deep point either, and they're just content on trying to force it into the leg side. This time it's aerial, fielder in place, and it will just get to him, but that time again, a little bit more aggression, but still a check shot there. Wasn't looking to fully take it on.
Yeah, when you're in positive frame of mind and you're looking for boundaries, you take that ball just slightly out in front, and then you hit the mid-wicket gap. But that's that approach, that laid-back approach, although he got his hands out in front, but he could have got it further out and then found the gap.
Outside edge will just fine. Third man, that was real signs of aggression, looking for that big cover shot, but an over that probably should have gone Baltimore's way. Once again goes to the Lightning. 4 runs coming from it. 61 for 2 after 12.
It's an impossible shot.
Sometimes creativity and innovation are all it takes to achieve the impossible. Yash Technologies, more than what you think.
Well, the mid-over break, a couple of substitutes ran on to the pitch. They brought some water, and I'm pretty sure they brought some instructions as well. Last 8 to go. Where would Royals want to take this innings to? And that is probably the crucial phase of the game about to begin.
Yeah, you see it, the first real big swing of the bat. They're doing this against Junaid Siddiqui, though. I think it's an over too late. Yes, it might be what they were aiming for. All right, let 12 overs go, and then from there we'll play really aggressive cricket. But I think situationally, understand, all right, Akil Posa is bowling. It's not Junaid Siddiqui. It's not Soeb Tai. It's not Sunny Patel. This is the over to go after. Into the onside. Pick the gap as well. And there you go. 4 runs there, and again, the first real signs of aggression for the Baltimore Royals.
But still in complete control. This is a terrific cricketing stroke. Magnificently picked up the length, and then the use of the wrist. Just a few bounces. He was looking to hit it over the boundary. That is magnificent batting.
Yeah, and we mentioned control. We've said that word a lot, and on this surface, it's hard to be in real control. Think about the batters that have been on here. Trevin Griffith and Rajdeep Darbar and even Hanchard Hamilton. No one has really seemed in full control, but the Baltimore Royals have made sure they've spent time, and now they're looking to be a little bit more aggressive.
Mehra collects another single. His strike rate is up at a runner ball, or slightly better now. And if he can provide those finishing touches, Mehra's innings probably so far will be the best of this weekend so far. He's looked in complete control, but such is the nature of this format. He needs to just make up those deliveries and get that strike rate up around 140.
Looking for the big pull shot, well fielded by Junaid Siddiqui, and like you said, it's now time for these batters to go. And it's not like you're looking at the Atlanta Fire, who maybe their batting lineup maybe was a bit thin, and you're batting first, you're trying to set a total. You have 3 guys who can come in and really hit the ball a long way. Utilize them. Looks for the big shot. It's into the gap. Fielder will get there, and they'll just settle for 1. I think there's 2 on. It's in the gap. It feels like there had to have been a second.
It's a quite long throw as well. So, and the non-striker should be more vigilant to the situation. That is Mehra, who will be back on strike now.
Well, 1 boundary in the over, so it's made it a 6-run over, but still not that big over that the Royals are after.
He's got that real solid punch about him, Mehra. He's a very well trained and groomed batter. Collects another single. Moves to 39. 13 gone. 68 for 2.
While we're waiting for it, it's been a very good innings from Ravinder Singh Mehra. 39 off 38, really the most controlled, composed innings we've seen on this surface. But with the second over of Akil Posa coming, this has to be the over of aggression. There's only 7 left. Again, you're aiming at 140. Look for a gentle dab, and maybe just pulled out the shot as well. Not the intent I would have thought would have come off this 14th over.
A slightly slow delivery, gripped in the pitch. Well, they need to get in cruise control, the Royals.
Maybe get out of cruise control, rather, Faisal. They've been cruising for quite some time here.
Yeah, but cruising at 60. They need to be cruising at 80.
Outside edge, 1 bounce in front of the fielder. Chance of a run out. Direct hit would have been close, and again, it's all happening now. They know that they need the runs, and you can see maybe a bit of pressure being put on to Malik there.
Good intent from the non-striker, though. You have to go for these runs now. There's no point. And he made it possible. He took a calculated gamble. The throw had to be good and accurate. But Malik's dive got him in and a single, and that's got back him on strike. Let's see what he's got to offer.
In the air, away from that short third, and it's racing towards the boundary. And it won't get there, but it'll just be a couple of runs.
Yeah, once again the leading edge. But runs are runs.
And very, very close to that boundary, but well done in the end by Siddiqui. Bosa, he's bowled very, very well. We've talked about he's the bowler to target, but he hasn't given the batters much in this particular over. Full straight and couldn't really get any bat on it.
Yeah, Malik is probably the one who's looking to capitalize now and look to take some chances. And Mehra is allowed the luxury to bat on and accumulate whatever comes his way. I don't know if it's the right tactic. Mehra's been in for 40 deliveries. He's looked in control. Probably he is in better position to strike big. Look at
Good changeup. That's phenomenal from Akil Posa. He's seen Mehra take 2 steps very early on in his run-up, and he's decided during his strides to roll his fingers down the ball and not give Mehra anything to go with. As much as we talk about intent, when you have good bowling, you just have good bowling.
absolutely, and probably we're seeing that side of Mehra's game where he's in proper control. But does he have some big striking in him?
Not in this over. Not in this over, indeed. Just 3 runs coming from it. And the Lightning, while it's been about the Royals holding on to wickets, the Lightning, they like where they are in this game. 72 for 2 after 14. $14 overs gone. It's 72 for 2 in the Lightning. Well, they haven't had to do much. We've talked about being on cruise control. It feels like the Lightning have just been allowed to bowl on cruise control. Come in, bowl your delivery, get the ball back, go back to your mark, and do it all over again. It's been rinse and repeat for 14 overs, and now you're just, again, we've said it over and over, and I'm sure if you've been with us the whole game, you're probably sick of hearing Faisal and I talk about it, but 3 batters that can really hit big in the dugout, 6 overs to go, a good platform there. Somebody who's in the middle has played 42 deliveries, and those big shots aren't coming.
Yeah, and also if you look at it in a way, if you allow the bowlers to bowl at you, they grow in confidence. We saw Akil Posa's first over. He provided many opportunities to the batters, and they didn't capitalize, and that made him gain in confidence. In his second over, when the batters were trying to go after him, he was really spot on with his skills, having gained that confidence from his first over, which didn't go for many, and now it made the batter's job doubly difficult. Well, 6 to go. We'll see what transpires in these last 36 deliveries with 8 wickets in the shed.
Fani Samhadri in for his second over. And the reason we were screaming for the Akil Posa, to take him on, was because you knew you were going to have to face 3 overs of Samhadri in the death where he's so good. Singh Patel has an over to go. Siddiqui, I think, has 1 to go as well. So you have all of these bowlers who are just their frontline guys with remaining time, with remaining overs, and now you have to get big on them versus putting them under pressure with the scoreboard.
And the way it happens is that Akil Posa got away with 2 overs. That has left the skipper with quite a lot of options. So if any of his main bowlers go big or go for runs, like Siddiqui went yesterday in one of those overs, there's plenty of options for him to fall back upon. And now with Samadri bowling from the far end, he will close out the innings from the far end. So all skipper of Lightning is worried about is to find 3 bowlers to bowl from this com box end, and he has plenty of options to choose from.
And what that does is now you're almost hitting into the wind from the opposite end as you try to access the leg side if you are the right-hander. So it just makes that task all the more difficult. This one flicked nicely, but again, just 1 run. He's been out there for so long. Where is the big shot coming for Mero? Is he just happy to take his way to that landmark?
If you look at the projected scores now with 5.2 overs to go, 10 and over even from here will barely get them across that 124 mark.
No ball. Funny Samadri doesn't run in with a whole head of steam, but he seemed to have overstepped there. And okay, is this the moment? Is this the magic moment? Is this the time where the tides can change? You're given a free license. Have a swing. Take a big one. I think this is the time, Faisal.
It is indeed, but Mera probably is not a natural when it comes to big ball striking. He's very, very good artistic batter, and he's shown it on a difficult pitch. Has he got big strokes in him?
Yeah, it was picture perfect, that shot, but wasn't what you would be looking for off the free hit. It was well bowled by Funny Samadri, no doubt, but again, you've been in the middle for 45 deliveries. Malik has been in the middle for quite some time as well. There's just got to be a second gear you can tap into. T20 cricket is often all about the second gear, the third gear if you can hit it. And that's where games are won and lost, how quickly you can get into gear. And they're just stuck.
Running hard, looking for 2. And will collect 2 because it went in the middle of the gap. Couple of runs will make it a decent enough over for the Royals. Still those big hits aren't coming. 15 gone, 79 for 2. We didn't see anything in the power play. Any big hits? None in the middle overs. But the last 5 has been started off with a biggie. That's gone all the way. Mera responding to all the cries of big hits. And this is the start of the run rush that we've been expecting for a while now.
Well, Bosa got away with a couple of short balls in his first over. And this time, the message was sent in. It's time to go hit last 5 overs, and that might have been what they're targeting. They get a third of Bosa. Doesn't seem like they're just going to let him bowl it. He's got to pitch it up, but this is the intent you see from Mera as he moves closer to that half century.
And how about the decision to ask Bosa to bowl his 3rd over? We've seen more accomplished bowlers going for runs in their 3rd and 4th over if they bowl on a trot.
Yeah, we have, but again, it shows you the amount of trust that the captain in Sunny Patel has in Akil Bosa. And again, anyone can get hit on any given day. I think the big test for a lot of these young players are how do you respond once you get hit? And you see him quite beautifully slow things down, push the ball outside the off stump, find a better length, and leads to a dot ball.
Good comeback, no doubt. Once again, a big puff of dust comes out, and Mera could just watch it land into the surface, grip, and go past him with no position to put bat to ball.
Yeah, he's expecting that around waist height and for it to go up towards his shoulder was quite the unexpected case for Manor. Even been out there for 49 deliveries. There was no way to anticipate that. And again, there's a couple of demons still in this wicket. It's very tough to bat on, but you have to have runs on the board.
Running hard into the gap on the onside. Should come back for second. No, decide against it. But the way that puff of dust came out, I mean, we've seen the pitch hasn't been compact all day, although it was rolled upon and there was some moisture. But having that moisture being evaporated, do you think it started to crumble? If that happens, the Baltimore Royals, their approach would seem spot on, because if the pitch start to explode, anything over 100 will be difficult even.
Yeah, I 100% agree with that. If the wicket does start to implode, and you'd ask, well, why is it starting to play some tricks? Well, it's been baking under the sun, which has helped it, but this is the second game on it. And again, the thought process you would think behind winning the toss, choosing to bat first, is hoping in that second innings with the spinners that this team possesses. Sarbjeet Ladda, Mohammad Mohsin, Obis Panar, Daron Davis. The list goes on and on and on, and then you have Ravinder Singh Mehra, Jaskar Malhotra, who gives you some. You're hoping the wicket aids that kind of bowling.
Gives himself some room and thumps it, but protection down in that area. Another single. It's intriguing, this contest is. I mean, I know the conditions are not for run fest, but it doesn't mean that it's of any less interest. The competition, the contest has been superb, even with low scores. 16 gone. Royals 89 for 2.
Even the best in the business needs a strategic partner to help them win. Yash Technologies, more than what you think.
Mehra has gone big and into the gap as well. Will find the boundary and will reach his 50. A very, very well crafted knock. You can argue that the strike rate hasn't gone up as much as he should have tried in the last 10 or 15 minutes, but he's still in the middle. He still has a chance to make a difference, but this has been one very good knock.
Yeah, it's been very good. I think actually the scorers played a trick on you. It was Bilahad Malik who hit that boundary there, and so hopefully it's not a commentator's curse here.
Another single for Malik, and now there is a chance for Mehra to get to his 50 and collect all the accolades that I gave him. So I have to request him, please don't let me down. I've already said the things about your 50, so...
Well, I've already messed up Jesse Singh's day by talking about the game happening up in New Jersey right here. I seem to have got him out there, so it would only be fitting if Faisal has a similar story to mine, but it doesn't seem like he's going to throw his wicket away. He's very, very comfortable getting those ones, and the opening boundary takes a lot of pressure off.
Oh yes, it was bound to happen. No 50 for Mehra, as his stumps have been knocked back by Fani Samadri. A slow delivery, and Mehra played all around it, and that 50 would not be registered against his name.
Well, it was the one time he tried to carve it. He'd been playing with a straight bat, looking to play in the line with the ball. This time, you could see him just take his bat towards mid-wicket and try to close it and run the corner, get his single, and that slower one just undid him. He was through the shot before it got there. A very good innings come to a close, 49 off 51, and the Baltimore Royals are 94 for 3.
Still can't believe what happened to Mera after I called his 50 mistakenly for that Malik boundary. And the one time, like Aman said, he was looking to be proactive, for once looking to expand and play something indifferent, but he lost his wicket, and that has given the chance for Pienaar to come in, a very established cricketer, but not a lot of time left.
Yeah, but he'd be very familiar with this situation. It's what he played in Major League Cricket. The only difference here, compared to what he did with the Washington Freedom down in Dallas, out in Church Street, was now he's got to play on this type of surface and get going quickly. Haven't seen anyone do that yet.
And he's gone, first ball. Fani Samadri's at it again with the boxer tricks. He's castled Pienaar on the very first delivery, and back-to-back wickets for the Lightning.
Well, if this is a sign of things to come for this pitch, could be a long day for the Lightning, but they'll celebrate this. You just see it's slower, it's a cutter as well, and it's taken it really from the leg stump, and it's cut all the way across of Obis Pienaar, who's just looking for a touchdown till mid-on. He has to go for a duck without affecting the scores, and the Baltimore Royals now, they're 94 for 4.
Fani Samadri on a hat-trick. Jerome Davis in the middle.
Yeah, and Jerome Davis, who was on draft night, he was registered with the New England Eagles, but he's since moved over to the Baltimore Royals. He's a big hitter in his own right. What does he have?
No hat-trick for Fani Samadri as Davis collects a single, but nonetheless it has been a brilliant over so far. Just 6 runs rather. That boundary seems a long time ago now, and they have been so few and far between that really the sequence of the singles has really taken over this Royals innings. Once again that stayed low.
Yeah, staying low, and again, as 96 runs are on the board, it's just an interesting question now. What are the Royals looking at? Because 96 could be a tall order on this surface. 17 gone, 96 for 4.
It's an impossible shot.
Sometimes creativity and innovation are all it takes to achieve the impossible. Yash Technologies, more than what you think.
Thank you. 18 deliveries to go. The minimum that Royals could aim for would be 18 runs, and that'll take him to that 114. Leading edge will be taken inside the ring. Wickets have started to tumble after the long vigil from Malik. When the time was there to strike big or attempt, he's perished as well in the cause. You felt that it was on the cards.
Yeah, and I think the disappointing thing for Malik is that he wasn't looking to play the big shot. That's not how he got out. He was just looking to turn it into the onside. But Akil Posta, to his credit, has bowled very well today, gets his first wicket, and the 5th one goes for the Baltimore Royals. It's 96 for 5.
Tall, lanky right-arm leg spinner Mohammad Mohsin, who's very capable with the bat as well, has come out in the middle. Not enough time left, but still enough time, I guess, to make an impact, because I would feel that this game is on a knife edge. The run scoring has been pretty difficult. A couple of telling blows here and there could really make a crucial difference in this game.
Yeah, and these are two brand new bats into the middle. Mohsin strikes at a 139 in minor league cricket, but they won't need a strike rate of 139. What they'll look for is a boundary here, a boundary there, and just keep the singles coming.
Well, Mohsin would have found that out watching the entire 17 overs, and now he experiences it firsthand himself. I don't know what's his game plan and what he will be looking for. This innings has really gone at one pace. How often have we seen a T20 innings that has gone at that one pace, that first gear even?
Yeah, 100%. And yes, they'll talk about the intent of the of the Baltimore Royals as to why that's happened, but I would also give a lot of credit to the Atlanta Lightning in the way they've bowled. They haven't given anything free. They haven't really done anything that's you're like, oh, you have to hit that one. You thought you maybe attack Akil Posa, but what he's done is he's taken pace off beautifully. He's changed his line and lengths well. So even the fifth bowler has been beautiful today.
Mohsin swings like a rusty gate and misses it by a long way. It's credit to Akil Posa as well. At the beginning of the third over, when wickets in hand, you would have felt that this was his big test to come up with the goods, and he has really shown good character, good skills, fully deserved his full quota of overs, and I'm pretty glad that he's got one wicket to show for it. He would ideally like another one. Mohsin finally puts bat to ball and collects a single, and that's all he's going to get.
Yeah, I mean, Akil Posa has been great. Again, it's that ability to adapt and find your rhythm. And again, for the Atlanta Lightning, they've understood their conditions. They're very well coached by Walter Richards. And again, you can see that they had this idea intact. And the reason you hear myself and Faisal laughing, there's a little buggy coming on your screen right there. He's charged it up. He's got it revved up. And the Royals fans at home are hoping that they can rev up this innings, but he's bringing some life out in this Baltimore Sports Complex.
That's our old buggy cam without a cam.
He's got the best view in the complex, Faisal.
He wants to experience that buggy cam view when you see the international cricket, you know. So he's experiencing it firsthand, riding around this beautiful outfield.
And he's moving quite quickly as well. He's already made it out to deep point. He started this over out at deep mid-wicket, so good on him.
Another play and a miss. Another puff of dust. Signs of things that batting is becoming more and more difficult here. 18 gone, 97 for 5. I'm on that 140 that we talked about in the beginning. It's not imminent. A wide Fani Samadri look back at the umpire. Rogers, a quizzical look. Every run is important here.
And what I'm taking away from this, and if you're the Baltimore Royals as well, what I take away from this is balls staying low on anything that's been rolled. The fingers have been rolled on. We saw it for Akil Posa. We saw it for Fani Samadri. And so you think about this, and you think about that bowling attack. We mentioned the spinners that they have, but I'm thinking about their young pacer, Aryan Butler, who bowls in a very similar style. Cutters, very similar to what Deendra Subramanian was on that under-19 team with him as well. So it could be good signs for them heading into that second innings. Again, back-to-back games on this very trek with the sun baking down on it.
Absolutely. And Mohsin has really struggled in his 5 deliveries. Davis has just walked up to him. Best idea is if you can't get hold of him, just put bat to ball and run, because all the fielders in the 30-yard ring are on the edge of the circle, so there is at least one available every ball if you put bat to ball. Mohsin had other ideas, but the outcome is exactly the same like his previous 5 deliveries.
Yeah, and I think the first couple, you could see him just try to run it through third man, get it behind point, and Ron Davis just had a conversation with him, hey, it's not bouncing, get to it. But Funny Samadri's always so cerebral. He's always thinking about what the batter's going to want to do, and having seen Mohsin be on the back foot and be over the ball, anticipated him coming down the track, pulled the length back as well. It's just brilliant bowling.
Mohsin finally gets bat to ball, hits it into the deep field on the offside for a single. We're almost got up to 100, 99 now, one shy of that magical 3 figures. Some sort of a psychological boost it will be for the Royals. They would ideally want a couple of big blows in the remaining 9 overs. But you rightly said, Aman, credit has to be given to the Lightning. They've been good in the field. Their bowling has been spot on.
Yeah, bowling's been great and very tactical. And for the Royals now, you just put into perspective that partnership between Mehra and Singh. You see a dot ball there, another terrific delivery. That partnership there, and then the partnership with Mehra and Malik. How important were those, those 3 batters? Because without them, this could very easily been, a 50, a 60 run game in this point. But they've held things together and they've played with just great maturity. And I think now it sets almost a precedent for the Lightning batters. All right, we don't need to hit the ball big. Get 1, get 2. It's difficult to do that and just stay in the middle.
Shouting big is Samadri, but nothing doing. And Mohsin and Davis not alert to this situation. There was no one close in. There could have been a single, but Mohsin wasn't game for it. And yeah, Lightning themselves, they scored only 113 yesterday, so they're going to end up chasing pretty close to that today.
No, 100%. And I think there's a lot to do with pressure on this for Davis and Mohsin. They're the big hitters, and that's I think why they're not taking that quick single. They're just on their heels.
At 6s and 7s, Samadri has bowled a magnificent 19th over. Just a wide and a single off it. That 100 hasn't come up yet. 19 gone, 99 for 5. Final over about to begin. Thank you all for staying tuned in to watch this intriguing contest. As Mohsin goes for the reverse hit, he missed like he's done most of his deliveries, and he will have to walk back. Davis at the non-striker end is perplexed, and this innings has gone nowhere. Mohammad Mohsin will like to forget this knock.
Well, he was just looking for something to do and couldn't find it. It's Vasu Vegi who comes in to bowl his first over of minor league cricket. He's been with the Atlanta Fire for the past couple and hasn't gotten an over. The captain said, all right, 20th over, no problem, Vasu. Got yourself with the ball in hand and wicket on ball 1. Mohsin goes for just 2. It's 99 for 6.
Weggy, who's been warming the bench for a few years in the minor league, has come up and made his debut, and he will go into the record books. One of the very few bowlers. We may try and find out how many, but the wicket of their first ever delivery in minor league. Very elite list if there is any others. We'll try and find that out for you.
Yeah, I'm not sure how many people would be on that list. And you talk about Viggy and kind of his journey in minor league. It's been him and Atinda Subramanian that's kind of been battling for that second pacer spot in that fire setup. Cornet Drive was always going to play. And Atinda Subramanian, he got the opportunity and he's taken advantage, taken so many wickets and he's been so great. There's just no real opportunity for Viggy to go, and now he's bowling to Muhammad Alam, who's getting his first look with the Baltimore Royals as well, and he's paying the captain off.
God knows how long ago I was saying that they're close to that magical 3 figures of 100. 3 deliveries to go and they haven't got to that 100 just yet.
This would be truly exceptional to see what Funny Samhadri and Vasu Viggy did, because remember it was just that boundary to start off and over, and then dot the wickets following that. Bat on ball, and they'll bring up that 100, but maybe a couple deliveries too late. 100 comes on the board, so you talk about the psychological stress that relieves, but the Royals still got a lot more to do.
Momentum is such a key in these games, and Atlanta Lightning would be thinking that they got the momentum and they've got it for the longest possible time, because last 3 overs have just yielded 4 runs, and that is some effort from the bowlers.
And you look at this, without 2 40-run partnerships, this match is well and truly in the favor of the Lightning.
Went straight to the fielder. But single has been taken. No boundaries yet.
This has been clinical. Again, I think we talked about the way the Royals were able to control their innings in terms of not throwing their wickets away. But the Lightning, they never flinched. They just didn't seem bored with the way they were bowling. Oftentimes, you'll see teams start to search for wickets and try to force it. They said, nope, if you're not going to score off of us, we're going to bowl that same delivery over and over and over again. And Sunny Patel has really got his men playing terrific cricket.
And it'll be a monumental effort for the Royals, as this one has been helped on its way. Finally, I thought the shackles were broken. Excellent effort in the deep. Prevents the boundary. Takes a nasty slip there. But still, just a couple of runs there. Hope the fielder is okay. And the innings has come to a close with those couple of runs. Like I was saying, it will be a monumental effort for the Royals to wrestle back that momentum from Atlanta Lightning, who closed out the innings superbly with just 7 runs. I make it off the last 4 overs, make it 9 after those couple of runs. But this is splendid effort in the field from Atlanta Lightning. Deron Davis walking back will be thinking about his role with the ball, but we've seen an exceptional 20 overs here.
Yeah, we absolutely have, and I think that last ball sums up this match in a nutshell. The Baltimore Royals, they feel like they set themselves up. They put one down the ground, and the Atlanta Lightning just clogged things up, keeping things under control. It's a battle of 2 teams that don't give an inch right now. Well, it's 103 for 6 on the board for Baltimore Royals. That's what the Lightning will need, 104 in their 20 overs. When we come back, stay tuned. We've got plenty of action from the Padamveer Sports Complex.
You're watching the 2024 Minor League Cricket Championship presented by Yash Technologies.
Over, but Faisal, he's no longer playing USA cricket, and now he's no longer in the middle. He was undone by Sunny Patel, looking to swing it straight back and all for some runs in terms of singles. This one, though, elegant stroke. No man out, a deep cover, and the first real signs of aggression from Ravinder Singh. We've seen him play that shot time and time again. This time, he's had enough of Sobtai and says, go fetch that one.
I cannot believe that it's gone for 6. He hardly seemed to have hit it. It's with an off-spinning action. That's full toss. That had no mystery about it. The gift gleefully accepted.
Oh, he stay in, stay in.
It's another gift there, and the effort was sensational.
Struck. It's not a bad game plan here.
Finally, a big shot. It may. Oh, what a catch! For a moment, I thought it may just fall in no man's land, but we've seen some terrific catches this weekend, and this is
the over to go after. Into the onside, pick the gap as well, and there you go. 4 runs there, and again, the first real opening boundary takes a lot of pressure off.
Oh yes, it was bound to happen. No 50 for Mehra, as his stumps have been knocked back by Fani Samadri.
Do that yet.
And he's gone, first ball. Fani Samadri is at it again with the boxer tricks. He's leading edge, will be taken inside the ring. Wickets have started to tumble after the long vigil from Malik. It will be a monumental effort for the Royals, as this one has been helped on its way. Finally, I thought the shackles were broken. Excellent effort in the deep, prevents the boundary, takes a nasty slip there, but still just a couple of runs there. Hope the fielder is okay. And the innings has come to a close with those couple of runs. Like I was saying, it will be a monumental effort for the Royals to wrestle back that momentum from Atlanta Lightning, who closed out the innings superbly with just 7 runs.
Second innings here in the Baltimore Sports Complex, and no surprise, spin to open the bowling. The spinner is Obis Pinar, the new man for the Baltimore Royals. Didn't have a day with the bat, looking for wickets to start things off. And a dot to open the proceedings. Facial shot still with me. Faisal, the sun is starting to beat down on all of us now, but a thrilling chase ahead of us.
Indeed, and it's not going to be easy. We walk down to the middle in the mid-innings break.
First runs for Sagar Patel and the Atlanta Lightning.
And the pitch was crumbly, and it didn't have that good look that will give any batter who walks in with any confidence at all. So it's not going to be easy, especially if the spinners are on the money. They got 4 quality spinners, the Royals. There'll be a grind of an innings. At least that's what I anticipate.
It will have to be a grind. We saw those last couple overs from the Lightning with the ball just be tough for the Royals. Sweeps straight away. Fielder out there in the deep has some work to do and will do it. Well done for Soabtai to get off the mark.
It's interesting to see what approach the Lightning goes, because they've seen the Royals control the innings for almost 15 overs, 16 overs even. But then nothing came in the last 4 when they tried to go big. They had the platform set. They worked really hard to get themselves there.
In the air, away from the fielder. It'll run towards the boundary. Malhotra's got some work to do. And he does it quite well in the end. Good work from the captain. Probably could have ran a third, not wanting to test Malhotra's arm.
Early signs are that the Lightning are going to have their own approach to this target. They're not going to follow what the Royals did. 2 attacking shots already in the first 4 deliveries.
And what I think they're trying to avoid is fall into that pattern of just being okay with blocking. We saw Mark Parchment yesterday kind of just throw himself back, and so I think that's what they're trying to avoid. Sweep comes out. Hasn't been the most successful stroke, but Soabtai has been convinced he wants to take the spinners out the game early.
His swept tie will be key, I have a feeling, because he's a good player of spin, having played a lot of cricket in India. He needs to take control like Mehra did.
Goes for the reverse, deemed wide from the umpire. Pinar doesn't quite believe it, but said wide down the left side of the strip.
6 of the over already, so run rate is not a problem.
In the air, should be taken. It will be. Simplest of catches, and this was, I was going to mention on the previous delivery, he's moving so much and he's getting himself into awkward positions. Probably if he stood there, could have gotten that behind square and over the infield. Instead, because he had moved over, off balance, and finds a fielder.
Into the pitch again, and no control whatsoever. Easily taken, and that's the breakthrough that the Royals needed. At the halfway stage, we discussed that how difficult it would be for the Royals to wrestle back that momentum. They have started off pretty nicely with the first strike. It's tie gone for 4. The Lightning 6 for none.
We knew spin was going to play a factor, and it's going to be spin in the form of Mohamed Mohsen. So they've gone to the 2 new spinners. One the left arm orthodox, now the leggy, who has just turned the world really on its head with what he did the first year of Major League. Became the strike bowler really for Faf du Plessis and for the Texas Super Kings, and didn't have a great day with the bat. Now gets a chance with the ball.
He's quite tall, and that would really pose a challenge to the batters because he can get that invariable bounce as well, also with his skill to turn the ball around.
Look at the amount of turn on that surface there. You've seen it's just beaten Sagar Patel straight up, and that's just quality leg spinner there. This is what Mohammad Mohsin does. He finds a good length. It's tough to play on. Again, that turn, that bounce, and from his height, everything's coming down at you. You don't have a lot of time to get under it.
Yeah, he's got a spring in his stride as well. The longer follow-through would suggest that he feels he's in business. With his class and pedigree, these conditions should suit his style of bowling.
Pushed into the offside. Sagar Patel will get one, could push for two. And they want the second. Chenchu's quick and will be quick enough off a wayward throw. But I think about Mohammad Mohsin. I think about his journey to Major League Cricket. It's incredible. He wasn't drafted in the regular draft, so he was a wild card pick. He was someone that was in the later rounds and the supplementary draft. That's where he was taken. And then comes in and makes an incredible splash, and now a regular fixture of the 11.
Because that's the kind of skills he possesses. Originally hails from Peshawar in Pakistan. Played first-class cricket in Pakistan and then decided to make the move. And what a move it has been for him, like Aman just mentioned.
This time pitched up, but can only find mid-wicket in the ring. Good start from the Baltimore Royals. It's 8 for 1 after 2. Well, Obis Pinar has been given another over. He took a wicket in one, and Malhotra, he's looked to Obis Pinar, who, you know, if you're just tuning in from Major League Cricket, doesn't bowl in Major League Cricket. He's actually bowled the one over, and it was expensive, and since that point, the Freedom haven't utilized him, but really a complete cricketer for minor league cricket.
He's a regular fixture with the ball in minor league cricket and all the other domestic tournaments in and around United States, but in Major League, yeah, there's a elevation in class and competition, so he's only required as a batter. Very experienced cricketer and a very good cricketer. I really like his attitude. I've seen him on many occasions. He has give you that impression that he's always in control whatever he does.
Flied it, hit down the ground. There's no one out there. Obis Pinar, the one time he went full, has gotten punished, and Aaron Chenchu says, yeah, I might be a young man, but I still got plenty of power in me. Back down the ground for 6.
It went flat, and I just couldn't believe when I saw umpire's hands go up. It's on the other side of the ground. As we watch it, we have a little bit of a slope, but it carried all the way. Important boundary, important strike from Chenchu.
And the big thing now for Chenchu is to not let that stroke get him carried away. Don't try to throw to this one. That could just have been the setup ball from Pinar. Yeah, again, you saw he flighted it up but pulled the length slightly back, hoping that Chenchu would look for that similar stroke. Chenchu does well, though, negotiates.
It's going to be attritional, those 20 overs.
Again, it's not going to be easy to bat on this, Faisal.
Exactly. This went under the bat. The previous one from pretty much a similar length, just kicked at him. This went under the bat. Plenty to ponder for the batters. Pinar has got a slip in place.
Quicker on that occasion, and they will get that single hit out to mid-on, and going to get over this for the Lightning. They got the boundary, and they've now piled on a single on top of it. Not a lot of runs to go get. That's the big thing if you're the Lightning. No need to panic on any of this. You're just needing 89 more runs. Short. That's far too easy. Only question about that was whether it was going to be 4 or whether it was going to be 6. There'll be one bounce over the rope, and Obis Pinar just trying to quicken things up. Got it stuck in the hand, and far too easy for any batter, especially Sagar Patel.
That's another handy boundary. Boundaries have been very, very few in this game so far, and Sagar Patel got a freebie. He got underneath it pretty nicely. He's not a very tall man, and Pina would be disappointed with his effort in this over. 3 gone, Lightning 19 for 1.
Mohamed Mohsen will continue a good over that for the Atlanta Lightning, and so they'll look to just ease themselves into this one. Mohsen's been getting great turn and good rip off the surface with those two boundaries. From Pinar, no need to do this. It's in the air, and it lands short, and no fielder was really in a hurry to get there. It's Obis Pinar's in the end, but could have very nearly been the end of our Chenchu.
Yeah, Chenchu being a very short man, he really has a low center of gravity. We saw that yesterday as well. He can easily get underneath some deliveries that others may struggle.
Quicker from Mohamed Mohsen, and again, I think what Mohsen has done really well is his ability to vary the length. He's found his stock delivery, and then from that point he's thrown things up and he's pulled it back rather nicely. Short into the onside, and it's going to be 6, I believe. It was away from that fielder. They're waiting for confirmation from the umpire here, but could be close. Might actually end up being 4. Waiting for that fielder's call, but have a look at this. It is 4.
He got underneath it again. Quick feet as well. You cannot trust the bounce on this pitch, but he watched it all the way onto the bat, and that went towards that gap there. Mid-wicket is slightly straighter for Mohsen. Strange field placing, because normally when that ball got hit you would have thought that it will go to that mid-wicket fielder, but it's a slightly straighter one. But where the ball is turning, you could afford to have it slightly squarer, but
very firmly struck down the ground. Could be 1, could be 2. Yes, Sagar Patel's got to get quick. Oh, Chenchu's going to get run out. That's poor. Sagar Patel, what have you done? He's told him yes, and then he's told him no. That's poor. That's poor. That's got to be communicated better. And the Royals gifted a wicket.
yeah, and you feel that Royals needed that wicket because runs had started to come. Pina was struck for boundaries in the last over. Mohsen was struck for a boundary. And then came this. Sagar Patel had to come to the danger end. He started to come and then sold his partner the dummy. Chenchu has walked back for 13. Lightning 25 for 2.
Well, Faisal Shah, this is very opposite to that Royals batting innings. We're seeing more explosive strokes, but maybe just shooting themselves in the foot with the way they've handled a couple of situations. They've had some boundaries, and I think Soab Tai shot poor, and that run in between the wicket after the 6, or after the 4, not particularly great, and puts the pressure right back on you as a side. And a 4th over that should have been a great one for the Lightning ends up being one that the Royals will take, 26 for 2.
Even the best in the business needs a strategic partner to help them win. Yash Technologies, more than what you think.
You'd feel the wickets are key here, and Royals got gifted one, and that too of a batter who's finding life relatively easier as compared to the others. Chenchu was shaping up nicely. Sagar Patel now will have to carry that extra pressure on his mind, because the back of his mind he would know that it was his mistake.
Yeah, and I think with Aaron Chenchu, he's shown it through the first 2 days. He's shown some terrific shot-making ability, and you just want to give that young man an opportunity to continue to go out there and express himself. Wasn't given that opportunity, and again, he was just that poor run out. It's Daron Davis now with ball in hand. Turn straight away. Prashad Murthy wants a wide, but umpire says no.
During mid-innings break, or even in the first innings, I thought Daron Davis would be the key. His style of bowling, he could really put the squeeze on and also get some wickets, because unlike Royals, Atlanta Lightning are going hard, or they're at least making an effort, and in doing that, if they lose a couple more wickets, they will really feel under pressure, and Davis is the man with his experience and his style of bowling. This is key moment in the game, in my opinion.
What a delivery that is. Again, that's the reason why Faisal Shah has identified Daron Davis. I think the funny thing about the two bowlers operating from that far end, Obis Pinar and Daron Davis, both part of Major League teams, both not given the ball this season. But again, you can just see the levels and how good they actually are.
Yeah, that second delivery, spitted like a cobra. Try playing that. And it also creates the doubts in the batter's mind.
Like, you want to talk about doubts, that's what it is. And again, it's the pace. He's changed it up so well. A couple of deliveries before were quicker. This one slowed it down, let the ball turn, grip, and rip off the surface.
Patel is searching for the ball.
Find one. And I think the Royals were kind of disappointed that one was taken off that. But a great over comes to an end from Daron Davis. Just 2 runs coming from it. After 5, it's 28 for 2.
"28 for 2 in 5 overs. It's very difficult to pick a winner in this game. If you haven't watched this game and you're just looking at the scores, and you'll be thinking that, what is Faisal Shah saying? Has he lost it? But if you've seen every ball of this game, then you would know what I mean.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a game that's just ebbed and flowed in such an interesting manner. Now the captain has brought himself on, Jaskar Malhotra, and normally you would think of him as a wicketkeeper. Usually has the gloves on, but in minor league cricket, again, he's found a way to be a good bowler. He's quick through the air, doesn't get a lot of purchase off the surface, but he just rushes the batter and creates angles.
Indeed, the angles, right arm around the wicket, trying to push that ball across at pace, creating that angle, and on this pitch he has all that opportunity to bring one back into the batter. They did just a hint of that. Rushed into his stroke was Sagar Patel, who's building up dots here.
And I'm just about to ask Sagar Patel, how long can you play this style of cricket? When does his sweep shot come out?
Excellent work inside the ring. The pressure builds. And that is Sagar's go-to shot, the shot you're talking about, the sweep shot. And
yeah,
it's imminent.
It feels that way. He often does it after those couple of dots build up. Just see how it happens.
He's not finding the right line or length for that sweep shot. I'm pretty sure he's itching. But you talk about Malhotra's angles, the way he's creating that angle, sweep shot is just not on. 5 dots, and Malhotra has really rushed through his over, not giving any chance to Sagar Patel to think about it. But now he decides to slow things up, make Sagar think that what happened to him in the 5 deliveries. This is clever.
Well, that delivery there, he started from the top of his run-up and just walked towards his keeper. Sagar Patel didn't know what was coming.
Not quite the maiden, but equally as good. Just one of the over. Power play gone. 29 for 2 Lightning. .75 needed of 14 overs. The required run rate wouldn't suggest it is a tough ask, but at this minute, if you ask Sagar Patel, he'll tell you how tough it is. 9 of 20 balls. He's taking strike to Davis. Kept low, never arrived. He got into position early.
It's watchful from Sagar Patel, I would have to say, because he was in position so early, could easily try to rock back and throw his hands after those build-up of dots, but instead waited, stayed low, and just almost used his wrists to guide it through mid-wicket. On this type of a surface, that type of approach is necessary. Can't commit to any shot too early. Have to watch it all the way through.
It's Murthy's turn now to face the music.
And Murthy would have been watching at the non-strikers end that that previous over of Jaskar Malhotra and saying, man, we got to get some runs on the board. And then his first ball up is that from Daron Davis. Slow, a lot of bounce off of it as well. It's just superb.
Single, not a clean strike at all. Struggling for timing are the batters.
Yeah, and Faisal, I think a lot of what holds true today for the Lightning is what held true for the Raptors yesterday. Someone needs to run in and tell them the numbers. You don't even need 6 runs and over yet. Just keep yourself in the middle.
This time he's found the gap. And Patel is quick, but not quick enough to convert that 1 into 2. It's gone pretty cloudy here, Aman.
Yeah, it has gone cloudy. There are lighter clouds than there were yesterday, but during my stint in Major League, we had 1 half dark cloud in Morrisville, and it poured down for the next 30 minutes.
Oh, wow. Did it take the edge? I think it did. It's running away. It won't go to the fence. Terrific delivery from Davis. Murthy went for the big booming drive. Just got the edge and got lucky.
It just went in between that keeper and slip, and you're going to see the wicketkeeper hurt because of the back end of this play, but he just got him to step forward and commit to going, and that ball's dipped on him well sooner than he expected, and Murthy survives.
That's a firm strike down the ground, down the hill as well. That's the boundary that the Lightning needed. And Murthy breaks the shackles. 6 of 2 deliveries to close out Davis's over. 7 gone, 38 for 2.
You just take a look at that. It's just the length. The previous one, it was the same delivery, just pulled back. This time, touch fuller, touch down the leg side, and Murthy is not going to miss out there. Like we said, they close at 7 overs, 38 for 2.
Sarabjit Singh Ladda. Very, very popular name on this circuit. He's a game changer. Could he do it for the Royals? We'll have to wait and see. He's got a slip in place. He's an aggressive leg spinner. Aggressive with his bowling plans. Aggressive with his attitude. And when he's around, as a batter, you feel that you're in the middle of a contest, and he'll make sure that he let you know. Slip in place for Ladda.
Sarabjit Singh Ladda, he's made a name for himself because of the wickets he's taken. 73 across 39 innings. He's truly just a spectacular bowler. And to me, again, has maybe the best 5 deliveries in minor league cricket history. Happened at Church Street Park when wicket, wicket, wide, wicket, and then to start his next over, started with 2 wickets of his own as well.
Crimped in the pitch again. Patel was shaping up for that big pull shot. Watch out for that googly as well from Sarabjit.
And very different from Mohammad Mohsin, who's very tall. Everything's coming down. Ladda will toss it up and invite the batters to hit down the ground.
Nicely swept. That sweep shot of Sagar Patel that Aman was mentioning just a while ago.
Yeah, that's where he likes it. You don't want to bowl there to Sagar Patel. It's the shot that's provided him a lot of reward, and maybe the shot that's led to his downfall the most of any other. He wants to play it, and if you give him a ball in that area, he's going to take advantage of it.
It's a bit of extra bounce there for Ladda. Rode very, very nicely by Murthy.
Yeah, this is good from the Atlanta Lightning. Don't need the big strokes. You don't need those boundaries. We saw the Royals get to this total without hitting many of their own. There's 64 left for the Royals to go get. So this is the right attitude and mindset. Get your singles. Don't force anything.
Beautifully tossed up. This is delicious flight and drift and turn from Sarabjit Singh Ladda. This is classic leg break.
That is the orthodox leg spinner. A lot of times in the modern T20 game, it's flat, it's quick. This one's slowed up, thrown up, and dips quite quickly on Sagar Patel.
Thumps it back past Ladda for a single. Sagar Patel, 3rd single of the over. As long as Lightning are collecting those singles on a regular basis, they won't allow that pressure to build. 8 gone. They are 41 for 2. A cloudy Paramveer Sports Complex here in Rydal, which is 20 minutes away from the historic town of Cartersville in Georgia, and just about an hour away from Metro Atlanta. Gorgeous location, plenty of greenery around, plenty of nature.
Yeah, you'd love to see the way this facility has progressed from year to year. Last year, there wasn't this much grass around, and now you're seeing it flourish, and there's so much fauna, and you gotta just love being there. And you've seen the fielders way more proactive this year at this facility compared to last year. With this green grass, it's very soft. They're willing to throw themselves around, and you gotta love that. What you don't gotta love if you're the Atlanta Lightning, as Mohammad Mohsin's coming back for a 3rd over.
Yeah, but Mohsin has gone wicketless so far. This is what Royals will be expecting of him, to provide that breakthrough. Catch it is the shout, and it has been spilled. It was a regulation catch. Sid Davis down there. Normally a very safe pair of hands. It went straight in and straight out.
Well, he took an absolute blinder in Major League Cricket, if you remember, on opening night. This one was there for him to take, and maybe just a touch too casual, but my goodness.
In the meantime, the wicket has fallen. So Davis's miss would not cost a lot for the Royals. Murthy is the man who's walking back. That partnership with Sagar Patel was building. They were accumulating. And an opportunity was missed on the first delivery of the 9th over. But then again, Mohsin struck back. And that is what the Royals needed.
Yeah, and it went straight back, I believe, to Daron Davis. Take a second look, or take a first look, rather. Just pushed into cover, and for me, it was Jaskar Malhotra who pointed straight to Daron Davis, said, hey, you're good, keep this game going. Mohammad Mohsin strikes, 42 for 2 are the Atlanta Lightning.
Sunny Patel is in the middle. That wicket really brought Royals back in the game. Sunny Patel straight away proactive. And I like the gesture by Jaskar Malhotra, the way he picked Davis up after that wicket fell. He just told him to come along, mate. It's gone now. We got to concentrate for the remaining part of this game, because we are still in this game. And
it helps when the wicket falls. It's a couple the next delivery over. And so what you have is, you see Malhotra saying to his man, keep going, we're good, because you have Mohammad Mohsin bowling this incredibly well. And again, the approach from Sunny and Sagar Patel have to be, hey, just singles. No need to try to score the big one off of Mohammad Mohsin. He doesn't get hit a lot, not even in Major League Cricket. Go ahead, go get your one, get your two. And Sunny Patel, you saw it straight away, saw a vacant fine leg, and just paddles his way over.
A leave in T20 cricket. How often do we see that? But
not very often. I think maybe the first delivery of the innings, maybe your one leave, you get almost like a one per game kind of quota as a team, not even as per player. But Sunny Patel happy to do that.
Just moving away from his stumps, asking Mohsin to bowl into his zone, and a couple of runs collected. It's a good start from Sunny Patel. I think he's figured out what his game plan is. Mohsin with a successful over, but 5 off it. 9 gone, 46 for 3. Back-to-back wickets in a run chase can easily derail the momentum. Sagar Patel, who's been there since the beginning, 30 deliveries. That makes 5 overs that he's played.
Yeah, and again, the frustration has to be growing. We've seen him look to play big, expansive strokes. Was dropped on one, didn't connect on this one. Has to keep his head on his shoulders.
Get that generous flight. No one else, no bowler other than Ladda can afford to do that, because he can just get the ball up and then down on a length.
It's very impressive, and again, he throws it above the batter's eye line, and at that point, you're almost expecting it to come around your knees or have the ability to swing straight through it. But it's the revs he gets on the ball. Any young leg spinner, the more revs you get, the quicker it dips, and the harder you are to play.
There you go. Asking the question, asking the batters to come at him. This is brave bowling, but he really has complete confidence on his skill.
Yeah, and that's the line. I think when he's straight down the legs, that's when Sagar Patel can play that paddle sweep. Make him sweep from there.
Across the spin, that is. Absolutely right. This is in the air and in the gap. Couple of bounces, but will be picked up inside the fence for a couple of runs.
A good stroke that from Sagar Patel, though. Played with the turn and played into that gap. No one at wide long on. So he's able to pick the gap there. So this is good signs for him. Just don't frustrate. Don't get too in your head about this. Yes, you haven't scored a boundary. Yes, you're, right there around a 50 strike rate. But if you keep yourself alive, you can find runs.
Like yesterday when the Lightning were in the field and the Raptors took the chase deep. Just take it deep. Don't give them any wickets. Frustrate them. And you'll see how easy it will get for you when they go chasing for wickets. They realize the Royals, the only way they can win it to take wickets. Patel, having accumulated 4 runs in the over, was content to play a dot to take us to the halfway stage. 10 gone, 50 for 3 Lightning.
It's an impossible shot.
Sometimes creativity and innovation are all it takes to achieve the impossible. Yash Technologies, more than what you think.
Well, it's Mohamed Alam who's come in with the ball in hand. Our first signs of pace on the ball. It's been spin the whole way through. So interested to see what he can bring to this Royals bowling attack. And again, this pace bowling unit features Aryan Batra as well. So we'll probably get to see some of him. Sahil Kapoor can bowl some pace on this squad as well. But Alam has been the man Jaskar Malhotra's turned the ball over to, starting to Sunny Patel. Dealt with nicely. What's the game plan now? You have the 2 Patels out there in the middle. What's the game plan for you if you're the Atlanta Lightning?
Patels accumulate.
Well, there's the third in the com box here. There you go.
Yeah, sometimes they accumulate slowly and sometimes they go big. So there you go.
We'll see if it is the slow, steady nature or if they are going to go down the ground early on. Big swing down the ground. Cries of catch it. But anyone can just watch it go over the fence. It'll be 6 runs, and Sunny Patel, he's got a hold of that one.
There's the belligerent side of the Patel. And Sunny Patel really got hold of it. Big hits have been few and far between, so this is really handy. We haven't seen anything in the 3rd or 4th gear, but just the 2nd gear will do for the Lightning. The required run rate has fallen below 5 for the first time.
There you go, and not much more needed, right? You've hit your 6, get 1, don't lose your wicket. If you're Alam, pull that length back. When you're pulled the length back, you won't get hit. There it is, cries of catch it, and Jaskar Malhotra was running towards the middle as if he thought the umpire had already given it. Really stifled appeal though from bowler and keeper, but Jaskar Malhotra, who's just to the right center of your screen, he was convinced that one was edged through.
Yeah, he's still talking to his wicketkeeper like, why did you not appeal for that? I heard something. Probably the only one.
Very animated cricketer is Malhotra. Know what he's thinking at all times. Say just a touch low, but dealt with well by Sunny Patel to get off strike. And again, the message for Sagar Patel here, yes, you've played quite a few deliveries, but no need to force it. Get one. Don't lose your wicket.
Yeah, at this stage now, the strike rate is not of any consequence. But Sagar Patel, that is losing his wicket, will really give heart to the Royals because they need wicket to keep them energized.
Dealt with well. Just a push into the leg side, and they'll just settle for the one. Sunny Patel not interested to take on the arm of Malhotra, but this is what it is. The Royals aren't going to win this game without the wickets. So if you can hold that together, the Lightning will cruise on to victory. As long as you don't throw it away, the Royals can't do much in this match.
You'd feel that it's still just after the halfway stage, but you'd call that it is Lightning's game to lose from here.
Dealt with well from Sunny Patel. Defensive to end the over. That included a big maximum off the captain's bat. 11 gone, 58 for 3. Well, the 12th over is coming upon us, and the beautiful part about this Buttonveer Sports Complex is that it's not just minor league cricket happening here. The USA Under-15 regionals are happening all around us, and those games have just come to a close, and now all the youngsters, they want to see the pros in action. They've all gathered around and are cheering on these sides, and again, they have aspirations to be right here in this very spot there, Faisal.
Absolutely. And we've already seen, being the 4th season, I know we had an exhibition season as well. So quite a few of the kids that have been watching the first season have made the grade.
Sweeps and sweeps well. Sagar Patel. Sarbjeet Ludda has just bowled that one delivery down the leg side every over to Sagar Patel. And it's just a miss because that shot's going to come out whether that's on middle stump or leg stump. And on middle stump, that's a very difficult shot to put away. And that's where your wicket-taking opportunity is. So if he can land that very ball onto middle, I think he's got himself his first wicket of the day.
Yeah, and he's been very dangerous when he has got that middle and off stump, or even on the off stump line, turning away, getting plenty of bounce, asking the batter to just reach out for it with his outstretched hands.
Straight up. Cries of catch it. Malhotra's running. Ludda's running. Could be a collision. They do collide. And Malhotra hangs on. Does really well. We'll hope that the two players are okay. Malhotra holds on to his counterpart captain, but a scary collision there for the Royals.
It's scary indeed. Two very, very experienced cricketers. You would have thought one of them would have called for it. Malhotra takes an incredible catch because they did collide, but in doing that, he made sure that he hung on to the ball really tight as he rolled over. A bit of a smile on Ludda's face would suggest that he's okay. Malhotra still grimacing, but he made the telling contribution.
And again, this delivery, that's the same ball on middle stump, went for that slog sweep. And Malhotra does really well there because as soon as it's hit his hand, he's then felt contact from Sarbjeet Singh Ludda and straight away showed the entire field that he had the ball in his hand. That's terrifically done. And this game has just taken a turn as Sunny Patel goes for 10. It's 59 for 4. Well, Malhotra showing, even though he's officially retired from international cricket, that he's still got all the skills and is still very much in great shape. What we talked about was the collision on that catch, but the amount of ground he had to make to get there, that was equally as impressive.
It was indeed. It was a very high ball, and it's grey skies, there's plenty of cloud, and the white ball is not easy to spot, but he'd watched it as it seems as if from the bat, as soon as it went up, he was on the move. Allowed him that extra second and also allowed him that time in the end to have a look at Ladda and soften the impact.
Jesse Bhutan gets a greeting there from Sarvjit Ladda, and Bhutan has really been the finisher for this Lightning team, and no Samar Springer in this edition for them. He's out in the CPL doing glorious things. So a lot of this middle order is reliant on what Jesse Bhutan can bring.
Yes, I'm still in awe of that catch. Just want to see that the way Karan Malhotra.
Big shout. Ludda's off to the races. I think the finger's going to stay down. I think it was just a touch too high. We want to have a second look at this if we can, but Ludda was convinced he did his classic running off into the wicketkeeper's arms, but umpire was very straight away, said nope, probably going too high, but let's take a look, Faisal.
A bit of a gamesmanship there. On the first instance, it looked like it was missing leg and was slightly high on that left leg.
Well done.
And yeah, that appeal was trying to tell something to the umpire, but umpire said, I've seen enough and I know what I'm going to call for this, in favor of the batter. Yeah, I was saying I'm still in awe of that catch, the way Karan Malhotra, who's by the way off the field now, he had enough time at the last minute to cast an eye and have a look at oncoming Ladda to stop himself in his tracks. I mean, not completely, but just there he just had a look and he just tried his best to soften the impact. Ladda come out best on that. Malhotra is off the field.
Sweeps, it's in the air again. Fielder's coming underneath it and holds on. Sarvjit Ladda didn't get the LBW to go his way, but he's standing in the middle with his arms raised because he's just taking the big wicket of Jesse Bhutan.
Well, 2 wickets. How often have we seen in run chases like these, back-to-back wickets, really put the batting side in pressure, and that was Jesse Bhutan, who's very capable bat, big striker of the ball, holds out, and Ladda has made a telling impact in his third over. Bhutan goes without troubling the scorers. The Lightning 59 for 5.
Well, for those of you questioning the depth of this Lightning attack, it's Mark Parchman, who opened the proceedings yesterday for the Lightning, who's come into bat, and I think they've saved him in hopes that maybe the wicket would get better, or just hoping that he could come in with the pacer. But the one delivery to come of Sarvjit Singh Ladda could prove all it needs to be.
Yeah, the pacer is on from the far end, but he needs to get through this one delivery. It's just one delivery, but it could be enough to take your innings out if you're a batter.
Yeah, it does well. Gets it past cover, will get it off the mark straight away, and retains strike into the 12th over. It's 60 for 5.
Even the best in the business needs a strategic partner to help them win. Yash Technologies, more than what you think.
8 overs left in this contest, and do we have any doubts, Faisal, that this was going to be mouth-watering? Nonetheless, if you're still joining us, please continue because we've got something special on the cards. 44 needed from the last 8, but again, just 5 wickets in hand. Bowled him. Did he bowl him?
The bails didn't come on.
No, the bails haven't come off. The bails haven't come off. It doesn't matter. The bails are still on the stumps. Mark Parchment is not out. Those zing bails are just a touch heavier than the normal ones, and whether it's luck or whether it's good or bad luck, it depends on how you see it. But Mark Parchment survives.
Swap the bails. There you go. You could see the zinger flashing. The off stump is flashing. And when I say swap the bails, you've seen Stuart Broad do it in Test match. And still, this is drama here. The Royals cannot believe what happened.
You've got fans and coaches out here yelling, "It's hit wicket." It's not. The bails aren't off. Good carry on that occasion. I want to take a second look at this. Didn't really get a good look of it, but take a look right here. Just want to see whether it's chopped on or whether it's come off the bat. Yeah, he's hit it straight down into the base of the stumps, and it hasn't gone up. Oftentimes you see it kind of flick, and that's when it'll do it. This one has been off the bat straight down, and no bail lifted.
It was a solid impact. It's not that the ball just rolled onto the stumps. No, it was not.
This does inside edge. You add insult to injury. Muhammad Alam one will feel like he should have had a wicket, and then there probably should have had another. But the favor's in the fortune of the Atlanta Lightning at the moment.
This is incredible passage of play. The Lightning have got luck on their side twice in this over. Collected 3 runs. I've seen instances where the ball has brushed or just glanced at the stumps and the bails haven't come on. This was off the inside edge, and the ball finished up in front of the wickets, not behind. But still.
Yeah. Oftentimes when you're scrolling through social media and you find one of those highlight clips, it's, you see that in a video. It's the ball swings all the way back, it hits the stump off a leave, and the bails haven't stayed on. Add that to the compilation. That's one to add for glory. That is just unexpected, unbelievable. But if you're the Baltimore Royals, you got to get that out of your head. You can sit there and say we should have had Mark Parchment. There's nothing that anyone did wrong, but he's still there in the middle. You still have to deal with these two. Watchful, and they'll get a single in the end as well. Could be tight. Yeah, a little bit of miscommunication.
I'm pretty sure our friend Nate will be watching this, and I have to tell him that we've given you plenty of content over those 2 days, Nate. We're keeping you busy.
And minor league cricket, again, it's not just happening here, happening all over the country. We saw the Manhattan Yorkers take a win today and against the New Jersey Somerset Cavaliers, and so there's plenty of games on action all across the country. Tune into MLC Network to catch all of those live. Brilliant stuff here from Alam, and over where he thought he had his first wicket in minor league cricket. Not to be. 13 gone, 64 for 5. Well, we've got 1 over left of that man on your screen, Mohammad Mohsin. He's got the ball operating from the end he started on, and he's craving a wicket. He's got 1 already today. He's bowled better than that in his 3 overs, just giving up 14 runs. And again, if you can break this partnership, you can start to expose a little bit of that lower middle order of the Lightning. But these two very respected and recognized bats. Push into the offside. This is smart. You know, we've talked an awful lot about Sagar Patel, and I think the maturity has always been a real question, right? He's got all the strokes, but he loves that sweep shot and sometimes gets too enamored with it and throws his wicket away. Today, it's been a very different game for him. Slower, but what's been needed.
Very assured as well. I mean, he's played for the USA international side, so he always had the pedigree. At times, you felt like he was getting the starts and giving it away too soon.
Wide.
And
Mosen can't believe it.
he had no reason to turn around and look at the umpire like that. The way he turned around, probably he had a fear in his mind that it was going to be called as wide. This is totally unnecessary.
He's still having that conversation with the umpire. Still doesn't like it.
But with a smile on his face, so I'll have to give him that.
And when Mosen does really well, is again, you see the changes in pace. He doesn't let batters settle into him, and it's very different from Sarbjit Singh Ladda. So you pair those two together, and it's a very interesting mix for batters to get used to. This is good here from the Lightning, though. Not forcing anything, pushing down the ground when it's getting full.
It is nothing in terms of the required run rate, so wickets are the key, and Mosen into his last over. If he strikes here, he would have made a telling contribution. Already one wicket. He desperately needs another.
Didn't pick the googly. Did not pick it, but gets fortunate. No slip in place. And they'll get just the one run. Probably could have gone for that second, but Parchment happy to sit at the striker's end.
We've seen slip for most part of the innings, even the first innings. For once, there was none there. Mosen with his last chance.
Oh, didn't pick it again, but gets enough bat on it to fend it away.
I beg your pardon, he's still got one delivery to go.
And maybe you didn't believe it was a wide also, Faisal. Well, this is it. If Mosen can get a wicket here, it turns the complexion of this match all the way around. Beats the outside edge of Sagar Patel. He's been hard done by just not finding the edge. There's the slog sweep. Don't play that, Sagar. Stay in. That's what Lightning will say. 14 gone, 68 for 5.
It's an impossible shot.
Sometimes creativity and innovation are all it takes to achieve the impossible. Yash Technologies, more than what you think.
Spin to continue in the form of Jerome Davis, and again, he'll get another opportunity to bowl. This is the key partnership you're looking at. Mark Parchment and Sagar Patel. You get this, and then you start to introduce the Neve McNallys of the world into this batting lineup. So this is what you're looking at if you're Jerome Davis. Hit aerial and hit straight. So that's the key. In control the whole way. Sagar Patel, he's played a beautiful innings, but he's getting joined by Mark Parchment down at that end of the ground. He gets his first boundary.
It's a solid blow. Once again, Davis guilty of bowling the ball in the arc of the batter. Not much revs on the ball, nothing happening off the pitch.
Better from Jerome Davis, pulled the length back and absolutely ripped through.
If you look back at the game, and with such small scores, you always will think that, why did I do this?
That's in the air. And it's all the way. Mark Parchment, when he gets it in the arc, it stays hit. It's gone all the way down the ground. 6 runs. That's 10 runs in the over. Exactly what the doctor had ordered for the Atlanta Lightning.
That is terrific strike. Mark Parchment really has settled the nerves in 2 balls. two terrific blows. Fielder can only be a spectator, but you do have to question Deron Davis flighting the ball and landing the ball in the arc of the batter.
This was in the air for a moment, but passed. And the difference between this ball and the last, the speed in which it came, quicker. So Mark Parchment couldn't get his bat underneath it.
Still, the length was too full. The second delivery in the over, which was a dot ball, you do six out of 6 of that and then ask the batter to do something about it. But then if you give him balls under his bat, again that length, once again batter couldn't do anything with it.
Yeah, and the reason that the batters just can't rock back and stroke a single is because of the two-faced nature of this wicket. There's a couple that are staying low, but the Lightning batters don't care. The Lightning fans, they're excited. They're ready to go. You see them banging the drums, anticipating a big chase. Quick single, good from the Lightning. They might push for 2. Sagar wanted it, but quick enough was the fielder.
Yeah, that you could hear that drums beating now with more enthusiasm and more energy. Sometimes you feel it's a nervous beat, but this isn't. This is full of energy and full of optimism. Just 5 overs to go, and Lightning needs a 23. They're 81 for 5. Two for 9 for Sarabjit Singh Ladda into his final over, and Royals desperately need a wicket, probably more than one at this stage. Davis's over was expensive, the last one, and it has really settled the nerves of Atlanta Lightning. Sagar Patel, 27 of 46. It's really been a rock, and Parchment with his 3 strikes, 2 boundaries and a 6 has really come in and made a contribution already.
He's just toying with him. So he's just daring Sagar Patel. Play it, play the sweep, but he's not falling into the trap. This is real mature from Patel. Yes, it's not going to be a very sexy scorecard, but this is the requirement of what's needed in this game for the Lightning to get over the line.
Mighty effective, mighty effective. He waited, and then he groped at it. Couldn't get nowhere near that ball. This is top quality from Sarabjit Singh Ladda, and that he's doing to a batter who's been in for 48 deliveries.
In for 48 deliveries, and the ball has been turning like this since ball number 1. And what Ladda does so well, again, you just see it die so quickly in the air. It looks like it's going to come full, and you just have to expect it to drop right below your feet.
When he flights that delivery, as single's been completed, the ball hangs in the air forever, and then on the way down it just speeds up that dip he gets, and then when it lands, the bite. This is a skill of very high quality.
Absolutely, and it's a hard skill to do. A lot of times you see bowlers try to do this, and it ends up being full tosses. You have to have the right amount of revs. It's got to come out with the right part of the hand, and you've got to be very controlled and skilled with what you do. And there's a reason Ladda has the wickets he does. Just the one fielder in the deep on the offside. So daring Mark Parchment to go over covers.
Another flight delivery, turns square across the face of the bat. No slip in place though. They need wickets. I don't know, it's out of trend, but I wouldn't have minded one under the helmet on the offside as well. Wickets is what they need. Just make the batters think something else. Glorious use of the feet from Parchment. This is a solid blow and a magnificent strike. And that has taken the wind out of the sails of the Royals.
Well, the one way to counter loop in flight is to use your feet. And the key here is he got to the pitch of the ball. Oftentimes you see players, they're well beyond it. They're reaching for it. This under the arc. And that was going to be hit for 6 all day by Mark Parchment. This has been impressive stuff on a tough wicket to bat on. He's come in and hit the balls down the ground.
Big grunt from Ladda. He's not happy with himself. That over has only gone for 7, but that's a lot more than what Lightning need at this stage. 16 gone, 88 for 5.
Even the best in the business needs a strategic partner to help them win. Yash Technologies, more than what you think.
Alam. It's down the leg side. Cries of catch it and shout, but umpire on top of their game. Another wide, 89 now, 15 needed.
Yeah, and you can feel Alam searching for wickets now. And that's what's required. Just 15 runs required from the Atlanta Lightning. So you see Alam looking for the Yorkers, looking to force that wicket. Again, would be frustrated with what happened with Mark Parchment after the zingers didn't fall off of their stumps. But this is a good length, and on this, you might be able to create some pressure, right? Obviously 15, not a whole lot, but what happened with the Fire and the Raptors? They got very, very close with just 5 runs needed from 2 overs.
Yeah, they still need to hang in there. They've got 15 runs to play with. But Parchment has really made the difference on this pitch when everyone else has struggled. Look at that strike rate, 21 of just 13. Made it a lot comfortable for Sagar Patel as well, who now can take time and protect his wicket, frustrate the bowlers, and then Parchment can come in. There's not much in it left now, a couple of blows and the deal will be settled. Even without that, just push the ball into the gaps.
Yeah, and I think the big difference for me with the 2 bowling innings is the Royals got bored with the basics. They went searching. They tried to pitch it up. They tried to change things. And yes, that's what the scoreboard pressure will do. But the Lightning were more than happy to keep doing what they were doing until they were hit boundaries upon.
That was Sagar Patel's call, and he has paid the price. That was a poorly judged run. Everything was looking so calm and serene. And that mistake has really given the Royals another lease of life.
And that's great awareness from Daron Davis, I believe. Again, tucked in, straight to the fielder. Mark Parchment didn't expect it. And Sagar Patel just runs himself out. Instead of opting for the throw, knew he had plenty of time, recognized it, and does the John T. Rhodes himself, runs to the stumps, and gets the wicket. And now, are things changing with Junaid Siddiqui walking in? Sagar Patel goes for a well-made 28 off 52. It's 89 for 6.
It's a cloudy Paramveer Sports Complex. We've just seen a wicket. The set batter Sagar Patel has been dismissed, and Alam, who's really bowled well, put the brakes on. And is there another twist in the tail? 15 runs could be a lot. Now if they get rid of Parchment, I think we still may go into that final over.
Yeah, this is the big key now. Mark Parchment, he's the real last recognized bat.
It's pierced the gap through the infield, but just a single. And now Junaid Siddiqui is in. He had a tough day with the ball yesterday after a good start. His batting innings didn't last very long. Pressure builds quickly on these pros because they're expected to turn up and deliver every single day.
Yeah, and I want to go back to Mark Parchment for a second. I think the real difference in his innings today was just everything was measured, in control. And it's really a blueprint on this wicket. If it's not pitched up, push it around, find one, and then when it is, punish the bowlers. Siddiqui's got to take a page out of that playbook.
Goes past the outside edge. Good bounce on carry on that occasion. I've been impressed of what I've seen of Alam into his third over. Very rhythmical run-up in a beautiful action. Good skill and temperament to go with that.
Yeah, the action tells a lot about a seamer. It gives you the ability to kind of add on pace and then change it up. Oftentimes you see pacers, when they get themselves into weird positions as they're coming to release the delivery, that's when they struggle and fade down straight up through the run-up.
Yeah, you build him up, and he bowls a full toss. Didn't go for many though, just a single, but still a very good over. Just the 3 runs off it. 91 for 6, and the Lightning need 13 of the final 3. .30 needed off the 3 overs. A lot of the games that were being played earlier on this Paramveer Sports Complex, they've come to an end, and all the spectators have come along, found some spots along the hill on this beautiful ground, and I'm pretty sure they're watching the broadcast to know the equation at the moment.
13 from the final 3, and a lot of these youngsters are going to look at the individual bowling this over as kind of a role model. Aryan Batra was part of that under-19 class that went to the World Cup, first under-19 World Cup for the USA in quite some time, and now he is going to get an opportunity to bowl. And again, you can see a couple of the youngsters, the families there. Love to see the little girl as well. Women's cricket is exploding in the area and in the States, and always important to get them, so maybe get her hooked on it early. But for Batra, the message is clear. You have 13 runs, defend them.
Look at the reverse ramp. Incredible, Junaid Siddiqui. He had the nerves to go for that stroke, and the execution was superb.
Well, he made that movement really early, and the anticipation on that was actually very spectacular. Understanding that there is no third, so he preempted that stroke, but wouldn't have been sure of where Batra was going to bowl this delivery. Guessed the wide full toss, and guessed the wide line Yorker, and got it right. And that's really excellent. The field isn't set up for that.
And also the first delivery of the spell for the new bowler. And if you see that kind of movements from the batter, he wasn't unsure what he wanted to do. That's the experience from Siddiqui. Knocks the ball into the gap, running hard. Should come back for the second. Easily done. And Now 6 of those 13 have been knocked off on the first 2 deliveries.
And you see the youngsters there piling in, looking at Junaid Siddiqui. And I guess the big question for me with the Royals is you've used up the overs of your primary spinners very, very early, very, very quickly. Could you have allotted to give one to Butler earlier and saved a guy like Mohammad Mohsin for right now?
Yeah, that's the skill, the art of captaincy, how you use your resources. And that was what we saw in the first innings from the Lightning. They got the youngster in, giving a couple of overs, leave themselves with plenty of options towards the end. As it turned out, he ended up bowling his 4 overs, so that was even better. Shot has been pumped into the deep and gone. The wicket, every time a wicket falls, it gives the hope to the Royals. They're still in the game. Although Batra went for 6 of the first 2 deliveries, he's come back and got himself a wicket.
And what he's done since those first 2, he's taken pace off. He slowed it down, bowling the leg cutters, and Siddiqui just one shot too many. And my favorite thing about that was the fielder was sitting there saying, I really couldn't see it out there. He saw it at the very last second. Siddiqui goes for 7 off 5. It's 97 for 7.
Wow, Fani Samadri batting at number 9.
There you go.
Aman?
Little promotion for him. He actually showed off a couple of nice strokes yesterday. So maybe that's the idea. He showed it off yesterday, and he's going to show it once again today. They're going to just need 7. They don't need a lot from him. But again, we saw 5 off 2 overs became tough. If a catch was taken, could have been 5 off 1. But instead, here, 7 from 1, make it 6 from 2 overs needed.
13 deliveries in total. Sometimes it's not a bad idea to send the experienced guy in, because that's the pressure situation. The equation is not difficult at all. It's just the pressure. Just do the right thing. And he's done the right thing by getting Parchment on strike. His wicket is key now. Just kept it along the ground and into the gap. He will want to keep the strike, so that's why he just didn't push for that second run. 18 gone, 5 needed of 2 like we did in the first game. 99 for 7 Lightning. This is the 3rd game of this season's minor league championship, and both the previous game they went down to the wire into the final over. Parchment on strike. If Royals take his wicket, this one could also go into that final over.
If you remember that first game, there was a wicket-taking opportunity that was put down by the Raptors that could have really made that last over tight. So now, if you're the Royals, have to hold on. The catching's been pretty excellent for them today. Can they find one more wicket?
Nice calm start from Parchment. Hands it over to Fani Samadri.
And like we said, everything's been measured from Parchment. He's not looking for big heaves. In years previous to this, probably would have swiveled and looked to take it into the leg side because he's more than capable of doing that. But he's showing off that maturity level, and I think a lot of this is because the major league teams are going to come a-calling. You're going to have a major league draft, looking for new guys to get into the league, new bats to come in. And Parchment's a name that's pretty high on the list as it is. If you can just add this maturity and do it consistently, no doubt about it.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And also, this is the beauty of this competition and the emergence of Major League as well. It gives players that incentive, that goal to just push themselves, find their best version, because there is something at the end of that if they're able to do that. And Parchment is definitely a player that I would want him personally to just push and find those new heights to get to those higher goals, because I think he has it in him. Funny Samadri scampers in. A direct hit would have made it interesting. As it happens, a run closer to victory are Atlanta Lightning.
Fielder's on his knees. He thought he had Funny Samadri gone, and no doubt about it, but the Lightning, they've been measured again. Funny Samadri doing the right thing. He's been promoted, but he's not been promoted to go and thrash the ball around. He's been promoted to say, we know you can play the single-double game. That's what we need. Go get one. Don't lose your wicket. Don't lose your head. You got a guy as cool as a customer as they come. When you talk about Funny Samadri, he's never going to have a massive hack. Wasn't going to play anything agricultural. Was going to be someone played in an economical manner.
3 needed. Parchment on strike. Short. Surprised Parchment. He wasn't expecting that length. And unlike some of the other deliveries which died, this one just climbed and kept climbing.
It kept climbing indeed, and that shows the effort ball from Alam. He's very fit. You can see it there, and he's just getting a little extra off the surface. And I think everyone wants this game to end rather soon, either way, because I'm starting to feel a couple of raindrops and some dark skies glooming over. But Alam is not ready to call it quits. Direct hit would have been gone. Direct hit would have been gone.
You telling me that the rain has started to come? Do I need to get it into my Duckworth-Lewis sheet? And that dismissal would have made the equation even trickier, because with 8 down, it would have made some difference into the target. As it happened, no damage done. But look at Parchment. He's content. He doesn't want it. And high and dry was Funny Samadri. A big swing and a miss, and it went over the top of the middle stump. Wow, how close was that?
Very, very close. I thought I heard a sound on the way through to the keeper, but what an over this was. Just gives up 2. And Faisal, like we've done all weekend long, we're headed to the final. 3 needed. We're just watching the Atlanta Fire Morso Raptors game from earlier. Don't go anywhere. Don't leave your seats. We got 1 over left. It's 101 for 7.
It's an impossible shot.
Sometimes creativity and innovation are all it takes to achieve the impossible. Yash Technologies, more than what you think.
Gotten quite cloudy here and quite dark towards our right. It's pretty bright towards our left as we look at it. There you go. The clouds have gathered, but I think we will beat them to any sort of rain before we see the conclusion of this game. The final over Spinar, and he's got Funny Samadri to face 3 runs needed. That was the equation in the first game that Atlanta Fire eventually got to the target on the 4th delivery of the final over.
And this is the man they wanted on strike.
they're happy to see Mark Parchment off and force Samadri to try to push one to get him back on. They want to bowl as many of these deliveries to Samadri as they can. They've got a slip in there as well, hoping to collapse the order from this end and let Parchment just have the watch.
Got stuck in the pitch. 3:05 now. Dot ball. The field is in. We got a slip. We got 3 fielders saving 1 in the ring. Quite tight on the offside. And then another 3 on the onside. Mid-off is up in the ring. Mid-on is up. It's a full toss. Samadri struck it. Direct hit. Would have taken him out, but it didn't hit. Another near miss for Samadri. That's the 3rd in the last 6 deliveries. But he can breathe.
Samadri's done well. He's gotten off strike. It was a very, very close call. Alam reacted quickly, got the throw off, and just barely missed. And now here's the battle. 2 runs needed, 4 balls to go, but you're bowling to Mark Parchment. He sent back long off. Interesting decision. Would have thought maybe long on would have gone. But here we go.
Slightly short and in the air. Oh, it's been stopped inside, but it will take Atlanta Lightning to the victory target. Mark Parchment has been the man who saw them over the line. A little breezy cameo from the tall right-hander, and his efforts were enough to take the Lightning to their first victory.
The Lightning get it done indeed, and Obis Pinar can't quite believe that the fielder hasn't elected to go for the catch. You had to go for it. Parchment gave an opportunity out there with deep mid-wicket, but in the end, this was a game, and the difference in it was Mark Parchment. What he did with the bat, came in, struck it big, and then was just very calculative. The Royals, they fought well in their first matchup with the Lightning. They'll claim their first win.
3 games in the season here at the Paramveer Sports Complex, and all of them going into the final over. Exciting cricket we've already seen, and there's plenty more to come over this long weekend. Another doubleheader coming your way tomorrow. It was an absolute pleasure bringing this broadcast to you. Alongside me was Aman Patel and our production crew headed by Babar Bhai. It was an absolute pleasure, like I said. I hope you enjoyed our coverage, and we look forward to your company tomorrow. Until then, it's a very good night from Paramveer Sports Complex.
No surprise, spin to open the bowling. The spinner is Obis Pinar. The new man for the Baltimore Royals didn't have a day with the bat. Looking for wickets to start things off. And a dot to open the proceedings. Faisal Shah still with me. Faisal, the sun is starting to beat
Themselves there.
in the air, away from the fielder. It'll run towards the boundary. Malhotra's got some work to do. And he does it quite well in the end. Good work from the captain. Probably could have was. He finds a good length. It's tough to play on. Again, that turn. Flied it, hit down the ground. There's no one out there. Obis Pinar, the one time he went full, has got short. That's far too easy. Only question about that was whether it was going to be 4 or whether it was going to be 6. There'll be one bounce over the rolled it back rather nicely. Short into the onside, and it's going to be 6, I believe. It was away from that fielder. They're waiting for confirmation from the up. Very firmly struck down the ground. Could be 1, could be 2. Yes, Sagar Patel's got to get quick. Oh, Chenchu's going to get run out. That's poor. Sagar Patel, what have you done? He's told him yes, and then he's told him no. What a delivery that is. Again, that's the reason why Faisal Shah has identified Daron Davis. You want to talk about doubt? Just keep yourself in the middle.
This time he's found the gap. And Patel is quick, but not quick enough to convert.
And poured down for the next 30 minutes.
Oh, wow. Did it take the edge? I think it did. It's running away. That's a firm strike down the ground, down the hill as well. That's the boundary that the Lightning needed. And Murthy breakthrough. Catch it is the shout, and it has been spilled. It was a regulation catch. Sid Davis down there.
From there.
Across the spin, that is. Absolutely right. This is in the air and in the gap. Couple of bounces, but will be picked up inside the
Early
fence.
on. Big swing down the ground. Cries of catch it, but anyone can just watch it go over the fence. It'll be 6 runs, and Sunny Patel straight up. Cries of catch it. Malhotra's running. Ludda's running. Could be a collision. They do collide. And Malhotra hangs on. Does really well. We'll hope that the 2 players are okay.
Just Karan Malhotra.
Big shout. Ludda's off to the races. I think the finger's going to stay down. I think it was just a touch.
Malhotra is off the field.
Sweeps. It's in the air again. Fielder's coming underneath it and holds on. Sarvjit Ludda didn't get the LBW. Bowled him. Did he bowl him?
The
I think
bails
he
didn't come on.
No, the bails haven't come off. This is what you're looking at if you're
You'll
Durand.
think that, why did I do this?
That's in the air. And it's all the way. Mark Parchment, when he gets it in the arc, it stays hit. It's gone all
Something
the way.
else. Glorious use of the feet from Parchment. This is a solid blow and a Look at the reverse ramp. Incredible, Junaid Siddiqui. He had shot had been pumped into the deep and gone. Mid-off is up in the ring. Mid-on is up. It's a full toss. Samadri struck it. Direct hit would have taken him out, but it didn't hit. Another
But here we go.
slightly short and in the air. Oh, it's been stopped inside, but it will take Atlanta Lightning to the victory target. Mark Parchment has been the man who saw them over the line. A little breezy cameo from the tall right-hander, and his efforts were enough to take the Lightning to their first victory.
The line.
You're watching the 2024 Minor League Cricket Championship presented by Yash Technologies.